Earth 2020. Society is in ruins, and a virus runs rampant among the world's humble citizens. They are lost. In these dark times, three wayward nerds cross paths at the House of India and realize they are destined to be friends. And so they did. This is their story. The story of the Side Quest.
Welcome to the Side Quest podcast. My name's Matt.
I'm BJ.
I'm Luke.
I might have to
And
leave.
you are not subscribed.
So do it. You know
How cringe.
You want to hear something also kind of cringe and sad, and it's personal.
Oh, yeah.
One person unsubscribed from our YouTube channel.
Wow.
Wow, I know.
What a bitch.
Yeah, it might have been that MTech video. Something.
Yeah, something really struck somebody.
Yeah. Yeah. Who knows?
Not a fan of Marvel Rivals?
Yeah. I might have to leave mid. If I get a call or some text.
Mid-pod.
My windshield got cracked from a rock from a zero-turn lawnmower, and I've been dealing with it all day, and it sucks because it should be something that should be easy. And it's not.
Because they probably want to make you jump through as much hoops, so you maybe hopefully will just go, fine, fuck it. I'll just deal with myself instead of, hey,
no,
they don't pay
they
for
just
it.
don't want to pay for it.
That's what I'm saying. They just want
Maybe,
they just want
but
to
I
keep
feel like
pushing.
as a mowing company
You would
or
be like,
company that uses mowers, this happens all the time.
you would assume, yeah. Or maybe this is like, fuck, we didn't think that this would happen.
No, because he's like, me and my brother have been doing this for 28 years, and so
We've never hit no truck with a rock.
Because they said weird things like, "Wow, that's a pretty big crack. Are you sure that didn't happen before?" Like,
Yeah,
that was crazy to me to say that. I wanted to be like, "Are you?" I didn't want to be the angry Karen on the phone, but that was one thing that they said that really set me off. That I really wanted to go. I'm like,
Are you for real?
like I saw it happen. The big boom. Oh, the crack. The lawnmower's
even
right
a
there.
tiny little piece of gravel, you fucking hear it when it hits your windshield.
Mm-hmm. So
I definitely, I don't know how expensive it would be, but like that's one of those things where you go, man, I wish I had a dash cam. Or some shit like that. Because then you'd be like, are you sure we did that? And you'd be like, here's the footage of me driving past y'all's fucking mowers and then it happening. So
Yeah.
unless you can fucking
to be fair though, there was
logic
nothing
that
else
away.
on the road, and I saw it come out of the mower. So it's like one of those things that was like,
it's
okay,
objectively your fault.
I know this.
Not
happened.
your fault,
Yeah.
their fault, yeah.
But like, yeah. So it's just, I'm gonna call him, and it's like the audacity to be like, "Are you sure?"
Are you're 100% sure
And
that
they're like,
we did that?
and I was like, "Yes, I am." And they're like, I believe you're an honest guy." I'm like, okay, whatever.
Okay,
No.
then
They made it worse by going, well, we know what you think you saw.
Mm-hmm. I had to give them my whole backstory, and then they did this one thing which really ticked me off. They're like, "Oh, so you're from California? How long have you been here?" Like they tried to make me like an out of town tourist, and I was like, "I've been here for 9 years, like almost a third of my life.
yeah.
I've been here.
I'm from here. Don't pull this shit.
Yeah, like this is my home."
Long enough to know that you hit my fucking truck with a rock.
they try to pull, well, those California lawnmowers, there's not the same here.
I
You sure?
I don't know what
we
they're
wouldn't do
trying
that.
to do, and it's like, yeah.
They're just trying to avoid responsibility because they're stupid cunts that hire illegals and pay them under the table so they don't have to pay them a living wage. They started a fucking lawn mowing business last week after they left the golf course in West Haven,
Yeah.
and they should kill themselves. If I had the numbers, if I had $1 for every fucking lawn mowing company in Middle Tennessee, I'd
Sure.
have so much goddamn money.
It's true. I do think though, it's like if push comes to shove, I have some ideas.
Yeah.
I know I'm gonna get this address though, eventually, and then it's like, if you block my number, I have plenty of friends.
Yeah.
Literally just get like, hey, can everybody at least call these guys just periodically to be like, hey, you gonna fix that man's
Just review
windshield?
Bob on fucking Google.
So, anyways, that's what I'm dealing with. But at least it's not a body panel, and at least I didn't crash my car. So it's like, I can be okay with that. I can live with that. It's still just sad that something happened to my truck. So, but VJ, this morning, because you were up this morning when I left, you were like, "There's a lot we got to talk about today."
Yeah.
I mean, we can hit the list. So we watched the Switch Direct.
We watched the Switch Direct, and then we watched the Switch 2 Direct.
Then we watched DMC. And then me and VJ watched the first episode of Lazarus.
Was it good?
It's awesome.
It was
Hell yeah.
awesome. It does feel like a predecessor.
The Cowboy.
Yeah. It really does. Like, I mean, I guess we can just talk about it because there's only one episode, which sucks that it's week to week and it drops the day after on Max. But it, like, the motion and the jazz, like the soundtrack for the first episode was impeccable.
Nice.
Banging.
It was, and it just was like jazz. This guy like doing parkour and just the way they animated him, just like
Spinning in the air and
spinning
shit,
and
yeah.
flipping was so clean.
I
So
definitely want to watch it. I just don't have Max, so I'd have to.
I'll
Yeah.
give you my pass.
Watch it or something.
Yeah, I'll give you my password.
One thing we do have to watch tonight is the first episode of Vigilantes.
Oh yeah, that drops tonight. Hell
It dropped
yeah.
yesterday.
Oh hell yeah.
Yeah. Is it going to just be one season?
I think they're trying to go to the end of the manga because they know they're out of My Hero content. After
Oh,
this.
it's a whole manga.
It's
How
like
many books or volumes?
12.
yeah, it's not a lot. It's
12 volumes. That's still like.
I mean, Demon Slayer is like 23, and that's getting like what 3 seasons in a movie, or a movie trilogy. Sorry.
That is crazy. How I feel like Demon Slayer is like very drawn out.
Yeah.
I mean, like the animation style, of course, is like amazing and impeccable. I just don't think the story's that good.
It's not. It's the most basic story of all time.
It's very basic, very just like you know exactly how this is gonna end. You know what's gonna happen.
Yeah,
But like it's one of those things where like mid story gets like evolved from like really good like voice acting and animation that you're like, I'm cool with it.
yeah.
Cause yeah, like I fuck with Demon Slayer because of that.
But it's so generic that they're able to do it that well and have it be popular still.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is what's crazy. Yeah.
Because, like, you look at Chainsaw Man, like, oh, we don't know if we're even going to continue it because it's a niche.
Yeah. Yeah, but then Demon Slayer's just like your basic shonen.
Yeah.
The most basic shonen.
The most
I would
shonen.
even say like more basic than like fucking Naruto and My Hero and like Bleach and shit, where it's just like literally the most like bare bones.
Pick
like,
one of these 5 things. That's what your sword does.
Family
Yeah.
Dies. I learned that I'm really good at this. I get better and I meet friends and I have to protect the people I love.
Yeah.
Wow.
And yeah, like, cause if you actually read the manga, like the manga itself is kind of not that good. Like the art is it. I say that as someone who can't draw with shit, but I was like, this isn't as eye catching as the anime is. Like
Yeah.
even from just a character design standpoint, it's definitely a lot of rough edges. Which, you know, now that I'm reading like Chainsaw Man week to week, that's what Chainsaw Man
You
is turned
saying
into.
though that you can't draw well, but you're like, but I still don't like this. I think, you know, you will hear people like being like, oh, it's so hypocritical for you to say like you don't like this when you can't do it yourself, and it's like.
But I have a lot of experience observing these things.
But it's also like, you know, just because I can't cook doesn't mean I can't not
Appreciate
like food.
taste. Yeah.
I can still tell what shit tastes like.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, it's one of those things where, because I feel like I see that on the internet a lot, where it's just like, and it's not even from actual like artists, because I feel like most
Oh
artists.
no, it's all like
It's
the
like-
fanboys
yeah.
that are saying that. It's like, no, you can't say that because you're not the one who's doing the work.
It's like, okay, you try doing a weekly manga
Yeah,
review,
yeah.
and I'm like, well, I'm not. I'm enjoying the weekly manga, and I can critique it all I want.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, no, it's the same shit. Like,
But I've also seen weekly mangas that
Go crazy.
that have come out weekly that are the most insane thing, and
Dude,
but
my-
also kill people.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, like,
RIP
yeah, like,
Mira.
Yeah, but I don't think that was never weekly.
I don't think Berserk
You
ever
think
was
it was
weekly.
ever weekly?
Not ever.
Really?
It could have been at some point.
I think the best it's ever been is a monthly basis.
Okay, well then Chainsaw Man's. He was weekly, and
You can also
he had to
tell.
take a fucking break.
You can tell too where, like, because Chainsaw Man is just Fujimoto as far as I know, and then maybe a new editor, because his other 2 editors went and did Dandadan and Spy Family, so like they're doing their own thing. Which Dandadan, I don't know how the fuck that's weekly, because I'll be reading that and I'm like, how the fuck do you draw this really well? You
It's
find
that
out.
Netflix money.
Well, no, I'm not even talking
manga.
about. I'm talking the manga.
Oh.
And then I look and apparently dude's had like he just stockpiled like arcs. Like he has had like 7 of them were basically borderline done, like rough draft wise. That when it's like, all right, you need to put out the new chapter. He's like, okay, and just finished it and sent it in. So he didn't have to like worry about, I have to draw a new brand new thing every week. He's like, no, I have like outlines done for like 7 different things. I'm good.
I'm still pissed the anime ended where it did. That was bullshit.
It was supposed to be like a core thing, but then I guess they were like,
core.
so it's one season split into two parts. But then I guess they were like, we want to make sure people like this. So they stopped it there. They still animated. See, they're still working on the second half like they would normally do. But they're like, we just want to make sure, this is worth the investment. So instead of doing the 24 episodes it should have gotten, they stopped it at 12. So it should have come out like a couple months ago. Now it's coming out in July.
It's dumb and gay.
Yeah.
The other thing that we did, which was, so we had some storms coming through here. And Luke came over on Friday to watch Devil May Cry. Yeah. And we watched like half it one night, and then the rest in the afternoon.
It was like 2 episodes left.
That's true.
I think it was episodes 6, 7, and 8, right? Because
yeah.
Which night did we watch the rabbit episode? Was that at night or in the morning?
What? You mean the backstory?
Yeah, the backstory one. Yeah,
that was in the morning.
So then we watched 6, 7, and 8 in the morning, and we watched 1 through 5. And
that was a weird thing because we started up watching it, and then it was the weird different animation of the rabbit's backstory.
And we're like, is this the same show?
What the heck?
But it says Devil May Cry. It says Netflix. Okay, we're on.
Yeah, like what the fuck is this?
Arguably the best episode of the season. That was so good.
Yeah.
And then
alone.
I mean, are you both of you being Devil May Cry fans? Did you guys like it?
I liked it a whole lot.
We liked it a lot. We're the outliers.
Everybody fucking hates it though. You go on Twitter and everybody's like, Dante has never acted like this, and it's like,
he has. Go play DMC4.
Have you played them though? I think most of the people that are upset are people that have only seen the original Devil May Cry anime.
So, yeah. To be fair, that is a thing. That anime
Why? Because
is
he's
boring.
like serious and edgy.
He's depressed.
Oh.
Yeah. So there's a lot of weird retconning of lore with Devil May Cry where they try to make out like Devil May Cry 5 is the game that kind of makes everything make sense. Because each game had like different directors or different stylings. Like Devil May Cry 1 is like classic, like, oh, it's cool, but it's still kind of serious. 2 was a whole different team and it was just dog shit. But Dante's also serious and barely cracks at any jokes. Devil May Cry 3 was like prequel. He's 18 or 19 or however the fuck old he is. And he's like, he's funny, he's goofy, he's making jokes all the time.
And then where does DMC land?
DMC is an anime that came out after.
No, the game, DMC.
Separate time.
Oh, it's an entirely different thing.
I know, but when was that made? Like
after 4.
After 4.
4 came out in 2008. And then
that's crazy.
And then DMC came out in 2013 as a reboot.
And then the next one was 5.
Yeah, they said fuck the reboot. We're going
is
back.
Like what? Like 7 years later?
Yeah, 2019. Yeah.
Oh, I wasn't far off.
Yeah, it was. It's one of the few cases I know of where they go, we're gonna redo everything, and they were like, well, the reboot didn't do well, so let's actually go back to the old shit, and just brought 5 back.
So
I really liked the anime. Obviously, I have my problems. Lady cussing all the time is the worst one.
Is the worst. I have a little spittle. Sorry, is literally the worst character, and I'm sorry that if you really like, I did not like her character at all in that whole.
Yeah,
anime.
I can see where they're going because especially playing the games, like, okay, I understand why she's like this. Just tone down the cursing, like.
Because, like, you get to 5, and it's like, Lady is a bitch, but she's still a ride or die. So,
well, she's always kind of been, like, antagonistic to Dante, but in, like, a fun way. Like, after 3, there's, like, a very clear, like...
She's not actively fucking everything up constantly.
And because I feel like if I didn't have Devil May Cry 5 and this had come out, like, after the reboot, I probably would hate this a lot more. But I have plenty of closure. Like, DMC could end after 5, and I'd be completely okay with it. And I'm like, cool. Like, this is its own thing. The creator, Adi Shankar, clearly cares about Devil May Cry, but he also wants to tell another story. And so, I don't know. It's a weird thing that, like, because I don't agree with the sentiment that, like, there's the creators don't care about Devil May Cry. Like, he clearly gives a shit.
They clearly do.
Like there's too many, like, and you can just call them references, but there's so many references that you would not know if you just did a wiki search or like just Googled Devil May Cry. Like you have to know to understand that. Like even like Arkham, like in the backstory with Lady, you start to see the nose come out. He's turning into Jester too. Like his weird demonic form is like a mix of him and Jester that I'm like, oh shit, that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Like it's small details like that like he clearly cares. He's just taking the story in a direction that I think people are uncomfortable with. Because I do agree that like the like post 9/11 Bush era politics that there's a critique of is weird that it's in a Devil May Cry show,
but it's also fucking hilarious.
Yeah, you know who did a better job of that?
But then Baines is such
Metal Gear Rising.
100%. Yeah, Metal Gear Rising is clearly like the best way to do that because they made it. Well, one, Metal Gear's already a socio-political shitstorm.
A very socio-political.
But I mean, like in such a fucking weird way because even like
and they're like the memes. We gotta stop the memes, but we also have to make more memes.
Like I fully.
I don't even know what they want to do with the memes, even though they literally
memes are the DNA of the soul.
I think the whole game is just like they're just saying that memes exist and that memes happen. That's the
but the problem is you can't have like a weird, like for the time it was made, a weird piece of vernacular. I'm guessing like 60 times it's mentioned. That's like all of a sudden that's like not even part of anything. They just are like, we want to use this. It's like a person that learns a new word.
And it's in there. They use it every fucking day.
Yes, that's exactly it. They're like, pugnacious. Oh, you're so pugnacious today. And you're like, stop using that word unless you unless you're like actually trying to like tell me something. Yeah. And that's what they're like, the memes.
That was me in like 6th grade when I learned the word plethora. I was like, I'm so fucking smart, dude. Mm-hmm. And then now looking back, I'd be like, right, smack myself. To be fair,
pugnacious is like one of the only like did you guys have wordly wise?
What the fuck is that?
Okay, so it was like in English where you like learned different words and then they test you on these new words, but we called them wordly wise.
So vocabulary words.
Vocabulary words.
California making just a bunch of weird shit.
Yeah, and we called them wordly wise.
And I got a duck in English, so I'm good at that.
Yeah, and the only one I remember is pugnacious. What is funny though about this is like I don't know why it's stuck. And then one time I was having a fight with my mom, and I'm like, "You're just so pugnacious." And even my mom went,
"It's like, what the fuck does that mean?" Yeah.
And I was like, "It means eager to fight. You just want to start a fight with me." And she's like,
"Go to your fucking room.
Shut the fuck up."
Yeah, she couldn't even take me seriously, and I was like, "Fuck, wordly wise." They want us to learn all these words, but when we use them, we're just shunned. We're laughed at.
That was me with a French class. Like I still only know beef is la bouffe, just because my brain was like Shia LaBeouf. Yeah, that was it. That's the only thing I learned because that was a funny little bit in my head, and that's the only thing I know from French class.
But clearly, Devil May Cry Season 2 is where it's at.
Well, I mean, I don't know if this is true or not, but like people are saying that he has a contract for 3 seasons, which Netflix could void that any day they want, but apparently he's got 3, and if it does well enough, he'll get more. And I'm hoping that's the case because I can already see the 3-season arc in my head of like pre-DMC 3. Season 2 is basically their version of DMC 3 with Virgil coming in, Dante, Lady, that thing, and then season 3 is probably like we're gonna introduce Trish and like do some other shit and like leave interpretations for more, maybe. Who knows?
Yeah.
It's funny because like apparently the Devil May Cry fans are now seeing what Castlevania fans went through, because apparently Castlevania had the same thing where like the hardcore fans fucking hated it, but then the casual audience came in and was like, yo, this is really cool. Wow, I'm going to go check out these Castlevania games now.
It doesn't make any fucking sense for Castlevania fans to do that for an NES
especially
game
because there's like
no dialogue.
I was going to say no dialogue and like barely any lore.
Well, they had a lot of lore. It's just it was all in side games. Like what was the last Symphony of the Night and Rondo of Blood were like the two like big ones.
Not lore. I mean like character depth and development.
Yeah, well, and that's the thing is it's
character lore.
Season 1, like the biggest thing for them is people like for a lot of people they don't like. I've seen, and it's the same thing with this anime where they're like, not everything has to be like morally gray. Like sometimes you can just have a evil person be an evil dickhead. Like that's the biggest gripe I've seen with the Devil May Cry, is like why do the demons have to be like sympathetic? Because like it's a rare thing in the games for that to be the case. Like Trish, Dante and Virgil are half human, but it depends on
My blood.
Yeah, but like in Sparta's whole thing was he was like the odd man out who went, oh, humans aren't total like pieces of shit. Let me protect them. And
well, if they make it to Devil May Cry 4, that'll make a lot more sense to everybody.
Yeah,
because the church is evil.
My thing too though is to me it makes Sparta seem more interesting because imagine if you now make that choice he did to split the worlds so much more agonizing because he knows that there's like regular people he's condemning now.
That's true.
Like it could make it way worse, and I totally think he's showing up at some point
because we had the same conversation about or similar conversation to this when we were talking about I think it was Last of Us, where it's like it's hard when you have sometimes like this morally gray, even though it's like for most of the like life everything is gray, everything everything is gray, but it's then you have to go into a game where it's like but I gotta like there's a reason and their backstory is what causes, and it's like sometimes in movies and games
it's good to have
so much easier to have a plain evil that you can all of your hatred and vitriol can just go towards one thing, and it does, and that's a lot more as a character, or at least playing in a game where you're that character is a lot more compelling to want to defeat that evil than this whole thing of, especially in games where it's like we're gonna make you play through the gray, like we're gonna make you walk through the things that make this like not a clear choice, and sometimes that can be okay, but like
it's like
it just has to be well written.
Like
and
Disco
it's not
Elysium
always.
has that a lot, where that game is seeped in gray, where it's like there are some choices in that game where you're literally like, yeah, make a choice, and you're like, fuck, I hate both of these choices. This sucks, but you have to try and figure out.
But that's easier when it's like a game about the most
choices.
Part, a game about like, oh, there's been a murder.
Yeah.
Instead of like, the whole world's gonna end, and I don't know whether or not I want, like, if I'm gonna side with the demons that want to take over the realm or all of humanity.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. Well,
it's like two different things. It's like, should I arrest the crackhead because they're dependent on crack, or because they actually committed the murder? That's a little less.
Yeah.
There's a little less stakes there.
I like Devil May Cry. Like it's a thing where I don't think just taking like how the game's.
I felt like you disagreed with me on that.
No, I just felt like you were just building up to talking about how much you hated Last of Us 2 again.
No. I was watching your face.
I was like, he's about to say the word Abby.
Fuck Abby, I hate her. Oh my god, the bane of my existence.
Did you see season 2 reviews are out?
No.
All I know is IGN gave it a 7, and I'm like, ooh. They gave
IGN doesn't know dick about dick.
To be fair, yeah. I was gonna say they gave I think the actual game like a borderline 10, or like a 9 or a 10. They were like, we love this fucking game.
So did everybody.
That caused a great divide for a lot of people. The fucking subreddit's still locked to this day.
So did every publication.
Oh yeah, fair. Yeah, I mean that game got borderline like glowing reviews across the board, and then like it just became like, well, let's see which side of the fence you fall on after the old golfing trip.
Yeah. I still maintain, no matter what you feel about the story, the gameplay is fucking perfect.
Oh yeah, I think Last of Us 2 has some of the best stealth gameplay, some of the best like cover shooter gameplay like I've legitimately played in a game.
So fun.
I want like that style, and it wouldn't work because of how big they are, but I'd love like that style in a Gears of War.
Yeah.
Like, because Gears of War, to me, is still, like, king cover shooter. But, like, Last of Us was like, but what if we could do more?
It'd be awesome if that prequel Gears game was
like
that.
Yeah.
Well, like, there's Gears, and then, what's the other cover shooter? The Division?
Division's also very good.
Division 2.
Yeah. Solid.
Again, for sequel, it was a... And then they canceled, like, the third game.
Well, they canceled that side game. Whatever it was, Heartlands of something.
Heartlands, yes.
That was not 3. That was a side thing that was going to be more of a whatever the fucking Tarkov game you play, extraction stuff. Not an actual full on open world.
I did love
thing.
Division.
Yeah.
Division is.
I really like Division.
we played. You, me, and Tyler played a little bit.
Yeah, not much, but still enough that it was
Me
like.
and Tyler played quite a bit.
I think you, me, and Tyler went through a couple missions and did a boss fight. That was really fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, I genuinely like Division. I like also the Ghost Recon Wildlands. I didn't like Breakpoint. I really like Wildlands.
Wildlands. That's the newest one.
No, Breakpoint was the newest one with John Bernthal as the villain.
Oh.
Wildlands was just the 4-player co-op
Okay.
open world game, which is really, really fucking good.
Yeah, it's cool because I like the IP of Tom Clancy,
Yeah.
but it sucks when all of their money goes into a sweaty fucking PvP game.
I mean, a sweaty PvP game that just keeps making them ass tons of money. People keep fucking playing it.
But
Yeah.
you would think they would take that money and make more games.
Okay, Ubisoft is
one
not.
would
We haven't
think,
we haven't
BJ,
had a
one
Splinter
would
Cell
think.
since 2013. Ubisoft doesn't know anything unless that makes money. More of that.
But then they're like, "You like Splinter? We're gonna put him in Rainbow Six Siege," and you're like,
You're
"Fuck
like,
no!"
fuck you.
Just
No.
make a new fucking Splinter Cell, please.
What's
Dude,
the Splinter Cell's character?
Fisher.
Fisher. Yeah,
Sam
Sam
Fisher.
Fisher. Yeah.
I wanted to say Adam Driver and I went nope. That
Because
is
I
not it.
think how they did it too because they do like reveal trailers for
he's like an old
characters.
fuck too. They did the like thing. Yeah.
But at first people were like, "Oh my god, are we gonna get a
we actually just and then it just went
and then
Rainbow
it
Six
was
Siege
Rainbow
character
Six
drop.
Siege
You're like,
character.
fuck!
You're like, what the hell?
There's that
dude?
thing in he was in maybe it was Division 2 where he was in one of the DLCs and you played as him. And there's a conversation that he has where he's like, "So is everybody else still operating? What about that guy in the headband?" And then she's like, "No, he stopped a couple years ago." And he's like, "I'm the only one left."
I was just about to say that Sam Fisher is like on par, or at least in the same realm of covert ops that Snake is.
Yeah.
Who knows? He probably knows Agent 47.
Probably.
It seems like that's that
Yeah. Speaking of that, that's coming out on Switch too.
Yeah.
World of
Hitman.
Assassination,
Yeah, dude.
which is like their.
It's Hitman 1 through 3,
But it's
and then
also
all their live
but it's
service
also
shit,
like
yeah.
what is it live? It's also live service.
Well, it's a weird live service because
It is.
I don't think you have to buy anything.
Yes, you do.
Well, because I know they do like what are those the celebrity contracts.
So how it works is because I recently went through this because I was like, I want to play Hitman, and I wanted to buy some of the older games, and every time it would be like, just get World of Assassination, and I was like, okay, it's pretty cheap, and then you do like the first level, and they're like, welcome to Hitman World of Assassinations. If you want to play like the other games and all the levels, you're gonna have to pay some more money, and I was like, what? What is this?
It's definitely the worst branding.
What is this?
Well, it's a thing where if you buy it on like PlayStation, World of Assassination will tell you it's Hitman 1, 2, and 3.
Well,
and then you can go to the next and go, well, Hitman World of Assassination Deluxe has
the
DLC.
battle pass, so
Yeah.
you can. It already includes all the stuff that you want. And it's like, oh, just tell me the final price of what you want me to pay, so I can play everything that I want to.
I got it on Xbox, and I think I paid $30, and I got Hitman 1, 2, and 3.
Yes, but if
is
you
really-
go on
yeah.
Steam and just buy World of Assassination, it's going to be, I think, free.
Yeah, well, because because you're basically paying for the launcher.
Yes, exactly.
To get
And so that's when it happened in Steam because I was like, oh, tight.
Oh, sick, dude.
And then I
Yeah.
boot it up. You play the intro tutorial mission, and then it's like,
Pay for the rest of it. Yeah.
congratulations, you're in the World of Assassination.
They also have the worst.
Now give
dude,
me, now run those pockets.
It's also Call of Duty menus are the fucking worst. The Hitman menu system is also fucking atrocious. I don't like these weird like Hulu ass boxes. Just give me like new game.
The panels. The panels.
Dude, I hate panel menu systems.
Yes, I
They
know exactly.
fucking
I literally,
suck.
when you said that, I knew you were going to talk about the panels.
Dude, just give me a fucking
Because
menu.
it has like a picture of something.
Yeah.
And you're like, what is this picture
It's a
supposed to
picture
be?
and then it has a little thing. They barely give you a tag of what the fucking thing means.
Yeah.
So like I just want
You know who does it really good for a conglomerate game? Halo.
yeah.
Halo, you pick the game.
You pick the game and then,
then
you're
you
in
pick the
yeah.
mission, and you can either do start new game, mission select, or continue. Or start new game, continue, or mission select.
The Master Chief Collection is some of the best.
Yes, that's a great
of
menu
that
system.
style. Yeah, I still like it. I'm gonna be honest. Unless you're gonna do some crazy shit like Persona and make it like animation based, just simplify it.
100%.
Give me new game,
I
load
was just
game,
telling
options.
BJ when I downloaded Metal Gear 5 on my Steam Deck, and to just get to the main menu, you have to watch the cutscene where you're in the hospital looking at like the sexy nurse, and then it plays the beginning of The Man Who Stole the World, and then you get to the main menu, and I was like,
This is too
this
much.
has been 10 minutes.
Yeah, like there should
Kojima.
there was
Yeah, for real.
Dude.
To a T.
It's funny because I haven't actually fully played it, but speaking of menus, the old Assassin's Creed games were really good, and then it's just like, again, same shit, start new game, whatever, but it has that like DNA strand theme.
Mm-hmm.
The new ones were like this weird, oh, press X to start, we're gonna check all your add-ons, and it's that Destiny 2 cursor menu where it's like, just let me like select. I don't want to move a cursor from left to right to pick a thing, and especially because like I'm on a fucking console.
Yeah.
I think I've played maybe not even an hour of Shadows. The start screen was literally just play.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, they're learning. Holy fuck, we're going back to old shit. Give me the old menu systems. I don't need.
I've seen some clips of the horrible voice acting from.
I haven't gotten
Shadows.
far enough. I literally played the tutorial and was like, all right, I'll get to this at some point.
So speaking of really good games, this weekend the final thing that we did was play
Inscription, baby.
Incredible.
Phenomenal.
10 out of 10 games.
Yeah.
So fun.
10 out of 10. I thought I really loved Balatro, and it is a different style, but it's still a card-based game.
A card-based
that's
roguelike. Yeah.
This is also a roguelike that's
This has
card-based.
lore to it.
Has lore. We had to decipher binary.
Yeah, it's our Five Nights at Freddy's now.
But insane, absolutely insane. Way better playing with other people, especially like we get to like plan, strategize moves and stuff like that. And I've kept on texting BJ. I was like, I really want to play Inscription. Come on, let's play, please, because it is one of those things where it's like I don't want to go ahead in it. I want to do it. I want to play with people with that. And so even last night I was like, because even the day before I was like, hey, maybe we can play like Inscription, and you're like, yeah, sure. And then I texted him at like 8 last night, and I was like, do you want to play some Inscription? And then I went to bed, and then I woke up this morning to a text, and he was like, you said like slumber.
I was consumed by a great slumber.
Yeah, I was consumed by a great slumber. And Carmen was like, yeah, he was up when I left for work.
Yeah, I was doing laundry when Carmen left.
Yeah, so I was like, damn. So tonight I want to get into more Inscription because
Like when it comes to like smaller, usually I'm like I love stories in games because what kind of gets me to keep going. There is something so addictive about just the gameplay of Inscription.
The person, Game Theory had like a 20-minute video. I mean, it was a long fucking video on Inscription.
Dude,
he was also thought like this. They made this game for like somebody like
people that like Game Theory.
Because there's like a part where you can go into like computer files and find like legitimate camera footage of the creator, like who made it's this.
That's some Doki Doki shit.
It's this whole thing of like we have barely touched the surface. We're getting into the weird animated cards a little bit because we were like, they've changed.
Yeah, like what is it? Stoat.
We were like, what happened to the Stoat?
Stoat
and
looks...
then the Dung Beetle.
Yeah, Dung Beetle's been changing.
Or Stink Beetle, I think it's
Stink
called.
Beetle, yep.
Yeah.
And then there's one more card.
I gaslit myself that a Bullfrog was getting worse, and you guys, no, it's not. No. Shut up.
Yeah, Bullfrog was fine.
No, it's not. I think it's just the animated cards, and I think they're going to turn into, like, people.
Yeah, I think so.
Well, clearly, I mean,
if
if you listen to, like, Stoat's dialogue, he's like, this motherfucker keeps me here against my will, and he just likes to play games, and then you hear, like, enough, and I'm like, okay. Also, a game that legitimately like brings me a little bit of terror because of the sound design. That weird like anytime it talks, that like just drone, terrifying.
Yeah.
The almost lack of music sometimes, and it's like, dude, like, and then I was walking around the cabin and I turned around, guys just staring at me everywhere I go, and I'm like, dude, I went up to his face.
Walking up to the cabin before that final bit is very creepy as well.
Yeah.
I'm very like, because you were saying that there's other stuff. I wonder if the theme also changes for each new. Is this one like kind of survival horror? Is the computer one like a weird sci-fi thing? Like,
no, it turns into like basically like Balatro graphics.
But it's 8-bit and like blue and black is like the color scheme with white, but it's very like
It's like GBA almost.
monochromatic, and your whole thing is about like a lot of it has to do with you're still doing cards somewhat, but it's different, and it's all about like computer chips and stuff like that, and you go into like a factory.
Is it like roughly played similarly, like with the card game style, or is it still?
No, I think you put like I think so, but it's like you put down robots that have abilities
Instead of like like so that yeah.
And there's it's a whole thing that I barely remember from like watching a playthrough and watching the lore videos, and I don't remember anything about actual behind the scenes lore, but I know that there's a whole other game for us to play.
I've made my point that I'm like, you know what? I don't know why this is the game that made me, but I'm like, you know what? I don't want to look up anything. I want to find out myself.
Neither, yeah.
And so I've just been like playing.
Even though like here, it's like I could have looked up all the combinations to the puzzles inside the cabinet.
Yeah.
Nope, I've stayed away. We're going to figure it out.
You look at those puzzles and you're like, oh, I know I can do that.
The first one was easy. The second one was a little bit more difficult because it had the lizard tail abilities, and then these other two are going to be a doozy, but we can figure it out.
There's that's the thing with like puzzles in games is there's some where you clearly go, I could, like most Zelda puzzles are like, yeah, there's a pretty obvious answer, but there's some where it's just straight up like, why the fuck? Like I was playing Onimusha, and there's like this puzzle where it's like you have to get this part to here, but you have to move every piece on the board. And I looked at that, and they gave me a time limit because if I don't do it in time, one of the characters drowns and it's a game over. And I'm like, I'm not getting this.
The same thing happens in a lot of Tomb Raider games where it's like fuck around until you can figure out what's happening.
Fuck around and find out.
Yeah. Because it's like some of them you're like, oh, I get what to do, but then other ones it's like
goddamn wall in the first Jedi game. In the flashback, nobody can figure out what the fuck to do.
Yeah.
See, like some of those, like Jedi. Besides that one, it's pretty easy puzzles for the most part.
Yeah, the Tomb Raider, it's like you have to explore and like mess with mechanisms before you can even figure out what you have to do. So,
okay, I have a list here from the
Switch 2,
the March Direct.
Oh, so this is the first one.
The first one, yeah, the one that was before the other one. They talked about Prime 4, which didn't really... I mean, you know, the trailer was great.
They showed off the new suit.
Yeah,
which looks cool.
But they didn't show off the new suit until the
Switch 2, right?
The Switch 2 one, I think.
Whatever. There's Prime 4 in both of these.
Yeah, Prime 4 was double stacked. So was Pokemon Legends ZA. Don't give a fuck.
I do.
Why?
Because I like Legends Arceus.
I like Legends Arceus too. You know what's great about it? You can leave the main city.
Yeah?
Yeah, you can go outside.
But my Pokemon gets to move.
My Pokemon gets to move in fucking Arceus too.
Not in the battle, not like that. I can actually yell Pikachu, dodge it, and that motherfucker will move. So yeah.
Pokemon's devolving.
Pokemon hasn't been good since
Gen 5.
Heart Gold and Soul Silver.
Nah.
Which was Gen 5.
No, that was Gen 4. Heart Gold, Soul Silver was before Platinum. It went Diamond, Pearl, Heart Gold, Soul Silver, Platinum. And then Gen 5 was Black and White.
Well, Gen 5 was good.
I did like Black and White.
Black and White's great.
Black and White 2 is even better.
Yes.
Pearl
is great, but Platinum makes it better.
Pearl is so mid. Diamond and Pearl. Gen 4, I hate Gen 4.
Do you at least... I mean, you like Heart Gold, Soul Silver, but do you like Platinum as a game, or is it
Never
just...
played Platinum.
Oh, really?
Soul Silver
I played through
too.
Pearl, and I was like, this is dog shit.
It is a lot... It's just slow. Like, Platinum speeds the game up.
But Black and White was great.
Black and White's fucking great. I love Black and White.
I hope when they get to the point where they remake those, they don't fuck it
I
up.
don't... You know what? I would just rather them not. Leave them as they are. Or... They're never gonna do this, but outsource it to Square Enix and get them to do that HD 2D shit for it.
That would be crazy.
That would be my.
You would want like a 3D redesign.
No.
Okay.
No.
They fuck that up every single time.
Okay, just let me ask the question.
No, to be fair, that's me. Like I've had this conversation with my brother. We are both of the same mind that like Gen 5, just leave it. If you can't do anything cool with it, if you try to do the shitty Diamond and Pearl remake version of it, leave it alone. I don't want to touch it.
You don't want to get some like Arceus treatment?
Legends Arceus works because it's its own thing and not like a
it references the other games, but it's its own.
Like
if they did something like that, then I'd be cool with it.
Yeah, like the only another reason why I like ZA is because it's like, oh, they're gonna take the stuff
you
they
can't
did.
Like ZA yet.
Oh yeah, it's not out yet.
Yeah, so
but I'm saying the things that I'm interested in it is that like if they pull the same shit they did with Legends Arceus, where they're like, hey, here's the Pokemon that we didn't talk about in the previous game, to actually give it some like actual semblance of like it matters now. I mean, that fucking big giant fucker with his little flower Pokemon are in the game. So they're about to do some shit with that.
Yeah, but like I'm always going to be disappointed that they're not just doing the war.
Yeah, to be fair, yeah. That when I was thinking Legends, I was kind of hoping they were all gonna be like ancient versions of this.
Yeah.
But now I kind of like that it's like Legends is them going, what can we not do in a regular Pokemon game that we can just fuck around and whatever? Which I'm cool with
something
that.
that's worth playing, I guess.
Yeah, for real.
All right. So,
Next
go on,
up, a long missing franchise, Rhythm Heaven Groove.
Rhythm Heavens are good. Actually, I think the last one I played was really good.
They also announced the Nintendo Switch Virtual Game Cards, which is stupid and gay. Which is basically just...
hey, man, you want to play my digital game that I have? Yeah.
Yeah, it's just a way to screw over households that have multiple Switches. Tomodachi Life, the girls and the gays went crazy for that.
Despite the fact that you couldn't be a gay in the last one.
Yeah, they found a way around it, though. They just make certain people women.
Yeah.
Nintendo Today, Nintendo Twitter... haven't done anything with it. It's stupid as fuck.
The first thing I did was go, by the way, the Zelda movies are coming out in 2027.
Yeah, but that could have been a tweet.
That could have been a tweet. Which, fun fact, I only know this, and they have the credentials to prove it. One of the people who works at Moe's, one of their friends who's already graduated high school is an actor. Like, he does that shit. He's been in, like, Chicago PD, some other stuff. He apparently has an audition for Link for the Legend of Zelda movie.
Wow.
That I'm like, oh, they're auditioning. They're not, like, trying to find
pick,
the
like
big...
a nobody, though.
I'd hope they pick a nobody.
I think they could, especially if they're going with like live action. I think they could.
How much? We'll see. We'll see. I have the lowest expectations.
I mean, yeah,
I don't know. The Mario movie was really good.
Yeah, but it's not live action.
Yeah,
you're right.
But if Nintendo's a part of it, I think it can.
At the very least, when it comes to
I'm gonna keep these expectations low.
I can keep them ground level and still be excited to see it. I can walk in and be like, this will be fun. And that's my expectation.
Yeah.
All right, what's next?
Marvel Cosmic Invasion.
Looks sick as hell.
Yeah, it looks like that new TMNT game.
Yep.
Dragon Quest 1 and 2 HD.
We knew about this beforehand. Just now they're doing it officially.
Still looks good. Saga Frontier 2 Remaster.
Looks all right.
No Sleep for Kaname Date. This is the first thing they showed.
This is your shit.
Yeah, I was like, oh my god. AI Somnium Files 3. Never thought they'd do it, especially this late in the console cycle. Rhino Remastered. Great get. I've never heard of it, never played it, and I know it's somehow related to Persona. Yeah, it's whack that they're not doing 1 and 2, but this just means they're gonna do 2.
Yeah, and charge you full price for it.
Yeah. Patapon and Patapon 2. I never played Patapon. But I know them.
They're like the PSP gets. Like that was like the PSP like rhythm game.
Yeah, definitely. But the only place that I know them from is from PlayStation All Stars. Disney Villains Cursed Cafe. It's basically watered down Disney Valhalla. Story of Seasons Grand Bazaar. Looks good. I mean, if you're into Harvest Moon, you'll fuck with it. Shadow Labyrinth.
Looks really fucking weird, and I'm excited to play it.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know.
Which is the one that's like the wizard school?
That's Witchbrook.
Which is the next thing on the list. That does look fun. It's not my kind of game.
The Story Seasons, though, does look really good.
It does. Yeah. Especially the
glider.
Not the glider. The glider's stupid and gay.
Yeah.
The Dave the Diver aspect of it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Where you got to sell all your shit. Eternal Life of Goldman. I don't remember that one. Gradius Origins, shoot 'em up. Rift of the Necrodancer, that's peak.
Yeah. It being borderline just a Guitar Hero section. There's like other having multiple games now in this one is really cool.
And it shadow dropped.
Oh, it shadow dropped that day? Oh, yeah, it was out.
Yeah, it's out.
Fuck, I gotta go buy that.
And it's on sale for $17.
Oh yeah, I'll buy that right after pod.
Tamagotchi Plaza, which I guess is Hello Kitty Island Adventure with Tamagotchis. Monument Valley. Everybody's Golf Hot Shots. I don't care about Everybody's Golf, and that was it.
But it was a really weird direct where we're like, oh, because you were thinking
we had different expectations because we knew the other one was a week later.
So we I guess we were thinking,
and getting Prime at the beginning was
because we were thinking what's gonna be the big hook at the end. It was Tamagotchi Life.
It was the app was at the end.
Oh yeah, sorry.
That was when I was like, hey guys, I'm at work. I'm gonna leave.
Yeah.
If there's anything else interesting, let me know.
Yeah. But then the Switch 2 Direct.
I'm trying to find a list.
That one was interesting. Well, we need to find
Release title.
Mario Kart.
Mario Kart. What is it called?
Mario Kart
Mario Kart
World.
World, because you can go because it's open world.
Well, the fact that someone at Nintendo played Forza Horizon and went, do that, because that's what it feels like a little bit.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
Yeah, but the best part of Forza Horizon is like, especially to people who are like into cars, is you build a car and you just get to drive it around. It's like I'm not like going like, oh dude, my Mario Kart, my cart looks so sick. Let me take it over these dunes.
Yeah, but to be fair, like
Let me drive around town a little bit.
to me, the
Like
idea
I can literally make a Porsche 944 and be like, that's my car. Like, you know, like in Horizons, just drive it around and then put crazy engine and go, this is what I wish it was.
The way I see it is it's going to be what they wanted Sonic Frontiers to be, where it's like, oh, the open world, there's challenges all around the place, do time attacks.
And you know what that is? That's just Need for Speed.
Well, that's fine. It's
well,
fucking
EA
Mario
hasn't made
Kart.
a good Need for Speed in like fucking 10 years.
Yeah, but that's the same like system where it Needs for Speed, where it's like
I don't see why that's a bad thing.
I don't, but I'm
Yeah.
just saying that's like they're like finally trying to change the equation, and
Yeah.
now they're adding in this thing that has been around
But-
in other racing.
Yeah, but name any fucking Nintendo fan who's actually fucking played a Need for Speed.
Okay,
Like,
I
I'm-
hear these
again,
defenses.
I'm
All I'm
saying,
trying
like-
to say is that to like add new gimmicks to a game and them to hype them up so much, I go, don't like say it's a feature, not like this crazy thing that's going to revolutionize Mario Kart.
I mean,
That's all I'm trying to say.
I mean, it does revolutionize Mario Kart
Yeah.
specifically.
yeah, like so that's the thing. We're all right.
Okay,
Okay, Matt would like to put out there that video games can sometimes be like other video games, and you should be upset. They started off showing off hardware.
thank you, VJ.
You're welcome.
He's so much better with words than I am.
The Switch 2 Pro controller looks exactly like the Switch 1 Pro controller.
But it's got a C button.
It's got
Yeah, I've got a C button too. Your old
and it's always on.
yeah,
Your old shit's gonna work apparently.
it will work. So don't buy that shit. They have a dog shit camera.
Don't buy that shit because you can probably buy a way cheaper camera that's also USB-C that probably works better anyway.
Yeah, there's gonna be a third party one that
Okay,
looks.
but that's another thing that is kind of along the same lines of what I'm saying. Is like they're like, we're gonna bring back the iToy. Like, but we didn't need it to. We didn't need it to come back.
But it's not doing iToy shit.
Yeah, it's not. Well, you know it is in the Mario Party.
Mario
Like
Party,
your actual character model in the camera can like catch shit and touch shit in the game.
and
that's
don't tell me they're not gonna
really
make a
stupid.
game
Yeah.
where it's all about your body interacting with the game environment.
They might just to offload cameras when nobody buys them.
Yeah, to be like, here's the game. It comes with a camera. Yeah.
Let's see, Mario Kart World. We talked about that.
I do want to say like
I want to. Oh,
I was gonna say in regards to the whole like game chat feature.
I was just about to say
because
that.
it's definitely like the funniest thing ever. That I'm like,
How bad the resolution and the frame rate were.
terrible.
Yeah.
The thing.
All
though-
of us were like, I don't know if they should have shown that. It's good that they didn't lie
I mean,
to us.
the fact that they didn't do the other thing where it's like, no, look at it all working on HD. They're like, no, this is what it looks like.
but it looks like dog shit.
But they did lie by omission, and we'll get to that after we talk about the direct.
Yeah.
Because all this was not in the direct.
The thing about game chat that I that someone like was talking about on like a podcast where they're like, it's stupid and gay, but the reason that Nintendo probably did that instead of just implement Discord is because they can 100% like monitor this shit and put it in their parental controls app and do all the other stuff for parents that they can't do for Discord.
But
And,
here's
like,
my
I can
other-
see-
I
I can
have
see
so
where they
many
go with
issues
that.
it. I have so many.
I mean,
issues.
it's a thing that none
biggest
of us are going to
one-
use it.
None
We're
of
all
us
just
are
gonna
going to
use
use it.
Discord,
The other thing, though, is like this is coming from like two different places. A console that one of its biggest selling points is like mobility,
yeah.
and taking it on the go and playing it when you're not in a traditional, like you're not on the couch.
Yeah.
Being a console game.
Yeah.
Or a console, yeah, being a console. Being not playing on the couch and playing on the go. And then the second is a system that is very much catered towards a younger audience. Both of those things does not equal we need a game chat with cameras.
Yeah, the camera is the most egregious part by far.
But, like
the voice chat was needed because I don't want to download a fucking just Switch app on my phone to talk to
That
people.
basically was just a shittier Discord anyway.
Yeah.
yeah. But like, I just don't think okay, yeah, game chat makes sense, but that's like easy enough to like do in any system to implement. But now it's like this camera with face sharing. It just that feels weird with again a console that's highly geared towards a younger
here's the
audience.
thing. That's the thing too about it. You cannot do it with random people. They have to be on your friends list. You cannot and that's the thing with Mario Kart. You can't game chat with randoms. It has to be someone you're friends with. So you have to get their Nintendo code. You have to do the thing. You can't just log into a lobby and just talk to randoms.
Good thing all these young kids don't have phones and Instagram that they can talk to strangers.
Yeah, to be fair,
and do all. Yeah, good thing. Good thing that the rest of
Yeah.
society is going to abide by the rules.
No, it's that
to
thing.
respect children's privacy.
I think Nintendo's just coming from a place of we don't want it to happen with us.
Yeah, that's why. That's why everything in there, like anything related to their the Switch system and stuff, has the most substantial parental controls out of any of the systems, and apparently this also is going to have that too.
Here's another thing: is I hear parental controls, and some parents be like, "That's great! I want to get something that is able to do parental controls." I feel like 60 to 70% of all parents that have kids with Switch are not understanding.
No, I think it's more than that.
But you get what I'm saying? It's it has the ability, great, but who's going in there messing with settings? You only do that the second an old man comes to your door and is like, "Hey, is Timmy home? We have a date."
Yeah.
Well,
I don't.
Again, I think it's BJ's right, because then if something goes wrong, you can't pinpoint Nintendo and go, "Well, you." It goes, "No, we have a detailed list of all this stuff. You cannot do this through our system."
Yeah, but the second some fucking pedophile. We'll have to maybe bleep this, but some fucking.
No, we've said pedophile so many times on the show.
The second
we
one
had a
pedophile
thing about
the
that.
second one pedophile gets into a game chat and shows his butthole on the camera. The Nintendo's not saving himself, and that's gonna happen.
When we saw the camera, we were theorizing about the most efficient way to show your dick.
Yes,
on
and
Mario
you
Kart.
get a little a picture printout of your face,
and then you rip it away because it's not going to have high enough fidelity to cut away.
Or
that
you just
quickly.
put your wiener through the mouth hole.
This is where apparently the friend code thing or whatever it is. Because you can only do it with your friend, they're not monitoring what you do with your friends, apparently.
Good.
So we could just
because you guys are seeing a lot of dick and buttholes.
Yeah.
I would say we could apparently do
printout, and then
naked
through
Mario
the
Kart.
eye hole. I'm gonna put my wiener through it, and then it'll just have a picture of my face with my wiener through it.
It needs to be a picture of your face, but there's an X-shaped cut in it, and then you just pull it backwards.
Yeah. No. I mean, again, I know you guys.
I'm
also just
to be fair,
with this kind of shit. I'm also just a kind of a pessimist. I go this is we're in this age where nothing exciting happens, and when this new console, they're like, "We got a camera," and I go, "What the fucking do?"
Yeah, I'm also in an age where nothing exciting happens, but I want to fucking play Donkey Kong to give myself 5 minutes of happiness.
Yeah,
I think I just don't give a shit, which is why I can go either way with it. I'm do
you think
because I'm not buying the fucking camera and I'm not using game chat. I'm gonna just get on Discord with everybody else.
Exactly.
It literally is a thing where I'm yeah, that C button. I'll have it because I pay for Nintendo Switch Online because it's $20 a year. Mm-hmm. So yeah, that's another thing, by the way. It's free for a year, and then after that, if you don't have Switch Online, if you press that C button, it's gonna go, "Oh, sorry, you don't have Switch Online. Do you want to pay for it?"
That just happened with my truck.
Really?
I have all these services on my truck, and one of them is what's satellite?
Sirius XM.
Yeah, Sirius XM, and I never. And people would call me, and they're like, "Matt, we really want your business," and I was like, "I just use."
How about you suck my dick and
I was
balls?
like,
I have Spotify.
I just use Spotify, and they're like, "Oh yeah, so do I, man." But don't you want to? And I go, "Please don't ever call me again." And it was literally a person on the phone, and I'd get letters in the mail, and then all of a sudden, a year into owning this truck, I get a notification from my car app, and they're like, "Hey, one of your subscriptions is ending," and I was like, "What?" Because the other subscription I have is for $10 a month, which is nothing. I get unlimited data to as a hotspot on my truck.
Yeah, that's.
It's unlimited.
Yeah.
Oh hell yeah.
That's $10. That's a pretty good deal, and unlimited data. Like we're gonna use that at the kayaking trip.
Yeah, like it's gonna be the way to like use like have anything. Yeah.
Yeah. Anybody who brings an iPad that isn't connected to that,
Plug
you're watching Netflix.
The truck's on. Put that shit on.
Yeah. I was like, that's a great $10. That's nothing. I could do that. And then they're saying like, hey, your ability to lock and unlock your truck with your phone is expiring, and I use that shit all the time. And now they're like, yeah, it's expiring. It's $15 a month if you want to do that. And then they're like, but you can either do. There's two different packages. One of them's like the mobile like locking unlocking, and you get GPS tracking. Or if you don't want GPS, you can do
Sirius XM with
it was Apple Music. It was Apple Music integration, and I was like, who is using Apple Music but not using CarPlay?
Yeah.
And they're like, and then the other one was the combo where you get GPS at like
Apple Music,
and you can unlock your car. So I did GPS in case it's like maybe if I didn't have my phone and like it was dead and I could still navigate.
What I love about Switch Online is that I'm on a family membership with like 7 people.
Yeah.
So once a year, I Venmo Joey like $5, and I'm good.
Yeah. No.
Even if you're not on a family plan, $20 for a year is nothing.
Yeah.
Netflix now is $20 a month.
Yeah, like Xbox Game Pass is like $20 a month. Like that. Yeah, like that is 100. Like of all the subscriptions for a gaming console,
I think I'm only still paying like $15 for Ultimate.
Yeah, I think you have the grandfather. It might be the grandfather in thing. I don't actually know how much I pay. I just know that it just keeps going.
I pay dirt cheap for YouTube Premium. Dirt cheap.
Yeah, because you have the like.
I had it when it was YouTube. I've had it because it was when I had an Android, and I paid for it, and I paid like $9.99 a month, and I've kept that, and it's still $9.99.
That's dope.
It is, and I will never not pay for that. I will never. I get to download my YouTube videos, which is clutch for flying.
Yeah.
Any other time I'm at a job site, I'm on the basement floor and I can't access something. It's like, love that,
dude. There's too much.
The lake house, I get to just download all of my like Sleep 2 videos.
There's too many like features to YouTube Premium that I'm like, I can't live without this.
I do wish they brought back the YouTube originals.
I think kind of
only because it was like there's only like 2 things I really liked:
Scare PewDiePie and I like Scare PewDiePie and the Game Grumps thing.
Game Grumps,
yeah.
Wasn't they did like a spin-off for Video Game High?
Rocket Jump maybe have done something, but Video Game High was free the whole time.
So,
but yeah, chat feature's stupid, and
the other thing I am excited for, but it's not just Switch 2, is GameCube emulator.
Well, that is just for Switch 2.
It is.
Yeah.
Switch 2 and you have to have the expansion pack.
Fuck.
So yeah, it's only Switch 2.
No,
they can't get it to run. Apparently, well, they probably could, but
it's
not running on Switch. Yeah, you're fine.
You don't need anything else for GameCube.
But the problem is, though, in my head, I go, it probably will run better.
It won't.
It depends.
I played Luigi's Mansion on my Steam Deck, and it was fucking perfect.
Well, it depends on the thing, because I know that I think it's F-Zero and Soul Calibur are like too hard to like emulate. At least F-Zero is. And then the people who have played like got to test it out. They're like, that shit is running like 60 frames perfectly and no dips.
But
like, how the fuck?
Oh, the emulator's not going to be playing the Wii U remastered.
No, it's GameCube.
Oh well, then what's the point?
Yeah, just wait until they come out with the remasters.
If they do, because at that point
they are.
I hope they are.
It doesn't make any sense.
But now at that point, it's like,
why?
Switch Online. Here's Wind Waker. Why would they also give you the option to pay for it?
No, it'll be the next Zelda anniversary. They'll have the Zelda All Stars collection. It'll go up to $120 in 5 years.
Yeah.
But everybody that buys it within the year that it's out is good.
Like the physical?
Yeah.
Because GameStop now sells the Mario All Stars collection for $120.
Did you see their tweet on their official the GameStop? I'll pull it up. On Instagram.
I did see a tweet from them earlier today that was man waiting outside Nintendo store for 2 months for Switch 2, and then GameStop said just pre-order it, and then all the replies said bitch where, when, no one's told us anything.
Did you see what they did on April 1st? Mm-mm. So it says, you guys, I'll read it all out. GameStop, power to the players, for immediate release. For years, customers have expressed a clear and ongoing demand for cover art on all pre-owned games purchased at GameStop locations nationwide. However, many games are traded in without their original cases, presenting a unique challenge. In the spirit of innovation, GameStop is excited to unveil a creative new solution to meet this demand. Effective immediately, Greg, an official recognized GameStop associate and self-proclaimed pretty good artist, will be hand-drawing custom replacement cover art for every trade-in game missing its original case. You wanted cover art? We're giving Greg a Sharpie in 15 minutes. Terms and conditions. All artwork is final. No refunds, exchange, or revisions will be provided, regardless of artistic quality of Greg's creative liberties. GameStop makes no guarantees. Cover arts may be composed of various artistic mediums, included but not limited to Sharpie, ballpoint pen, whatever Greg finds in the break room. GameStop remains committed to the innovation in pre-owned gaming market, and we thank you for the support as we redefine the collector's market, one legally distinct hand-drawing masterpiece at a time.
Epic.
Yeah, and then they did a photo, and it's Call of Duty World at War.
Donkey Kong.
Oh,
Donkey
yes.
Kong is coming out.
It
New
looks
Donkey Kong.
banger.
Second 3D Donkey Kong to
So
ever
everyone,
exist.
like watching people that live reacted, it looked like so many people were like, "New Odyssey."
Because it's running on the same engine, guaranteed.
My
It's
bad.
the same fucking team, I guaranteed, who made it too.
Yeah,
But then you see the little monkey in the background. You're like, is that a monkey?
yeah. You see like a little banana
Yeah.
like statue, and you're like, "Oh, what?"
They I don't know why they didn't show it originally on the cover art, but there's a little girl version of Pauline that's like hanging onto his back.
Really?
So it seems like this is like a Donkey Kong origin kind of thing.
Back when he worked in the mines.
Yeah, back when he was a slave.
Mm-hmm.
I'm very
Digging
interested.
too deep and greedily.
Yeah.
I love, like, that's gonna be a nightmare collectathon though, considering you can go anywhere in those maps. Basically, it's like fuck.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to dig my way through most of
I
this.
bet
Yeah,
there'll
it-
be
it-
like compass upgrades and shit.
It gives me some like horror flashbacks to the Rouge and Knuckles
Yeah, God
levels
dang
on
it, yeah.
Sonic Adventure 2.
but
yeah,
this
they-
looks way more fun than that.
Oh, 100%. Like
100%. But the digging into the ground to try to find a gem, I'm like, oh, I've done this before.
it's
Yeah.
literally the fucking the picture.
That's
of the,
been
yeah.
been played a lot in Discord recently, where Nick was playing it at first, and Nick hasn't been playing games, and then all of a sudden he's been playing games with us, or just playing games now in Discord, and he was like talking about how some of the levels are so hard, and then Hunter was like, "This is a child's game. Like this is the
No,
easy-"
dude, you play that fucking timed level with Rouge where you got to fly through the ceiling and lasers and shit.
Yeah.
And you come back and talk to me.
Yeah, and everyone was playing it and talking about like, okay, this game's kind of actually hard, but Hunter was like, "This is a child's game. This is gonna be so easy. Look how fast I can do this."
Yeah. You play a Sonic stage and you get, big for your britches.
Yeah.
Kirby Air Riders, another sequel that is just now coming out. I'm excited for that one. The game upgrades. Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom.
Like this is what I think what like you're sensing in all the animosity is just like all the little things I've seen in these two directs that have just added up into a negative emotion that has has its own, personality, because I hear these things and I'm just like, what the fuck?
But they're free if you have Switch Online. So I'll get them for free.
Yeah.
But I mean, but then I'm also getting to like the fact that, I mean, here's another thing is it's like games are now digital $80 and physical $90.
No, they're not.
No.
That's
What?
a lie.
Where did that come from?
We
That-
don't know. It was a listing somewhere, but it's $80 for Mario
Both?
Kart standard. $70 for Donkey Kong standard. That's no difference in physical and split. Yeah, there's a lot.
But
There's
why $10 more for Mario Kart?
That's the thing we don't know. Apparently,
Because we
I can
jumped for years, standard being 60.
I can tell you exactly why. Because everybody that owns a Switch that has a family has top 3 games. There's Mario Kart, Animal Crossing, and Mario Odyssey.
probably Smash on there somewhere.
Yeah, Smash or
some.
Yeah, fair. Yeah, it's not
Not
as-
even Tears of the Kingdom.
No, like casual gamers don't give a fuck about that.
Yeah, to be fair, yeah, Zelda's not as big in the casual as it is as Mario is.
Yeah, they just want games they can play with their 3-year-olds. So like most people are gonna buy this console and then just buy Mario Kart and then never buy another game.
Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, the Switch version has sold almost 65 million copies. And it's been on sale maybe twice.
I can't tell you how many times I've gone to somebody's house to be like, oh, let's play some Switch games. They'll turn on their Switch and it's just Animal Crossing, Mario Kart 8, and then a blank home screen.
Wow.
Here's the thing. People are saying like, oh, gamers need to do this. Nope. Like legitimately, it's bigger than gamers. The casual people go, Mario Kart's cool, and that's all they're going to fucking buy.
Yeah.
They're not going to also play Tears of the Kingdom.
And so because of that, they're going to charge $10 more.
Yep. Because those people are going to go, yeah, I play Mario Kart all the time. That's
because
worth $80.
the differential of like sell the hardware at a loss to make up on the software doesn't work if everybody buys one piece of software.
Like, cause I'm pretty sure.
It just kind of like I'm just over it.
Yeah,
I'm just over this.
Well, this is where I think the vote with your wallet thing is like good for everybody. Where it's like, yeah, if you don't want to
legitimately doesn't work.
Well, no, I'm saying like,
yeah, that's why I was like, yeah, it doesn't matter.
I'm not saying for like the boycott thing. I'm saying like if you don't think it's worth the money, then don't buy it.
Sure, like, but the problem is though, is then you get into the dilemma of I still want to play it.
Yep.
It's the dilemma of I want to play this game, but that's a lot of money. So I probably won't, but I still want to. Like, it's easy to go see a new Call of Duty that comes out and we go, I'm not going to buy that because I don't want to play it. That's easy. That's an easy decision. But then you get these games that come out on consoles that I use and games that I routinely would play, and then they go, $80. And I go,
I think I just
want to play that, but that's expensive.
I'm gonna be honest, and this is gonna people call me a fucking shill or whatever. I just don't care. I'm not. Here's the thing: if I can't get the Mario Kart bundle for the Switch, I'm not gonna buy Mario Kart. Because I'd rather pay the $50 add-on for it instead of $80. If I can't pay it, I'm not gonna buy it. So I just won't play Mario Kart World, and that's the end of it for me. Where I'm like, yep, I don't care.
That's not true, Luke.
I'm not paying $80 for Mario Kart.
Yes, you will.
No, the fuck I'm not.
I am.
He is. Well, he was ready to pay $90 for the physical. I'm not fucking paying that shit for Mario
I
Kart.
didn't bat an eye at that.
But
I'm not paying $80 for Mario Kart.
yes,
I'll pay $80 for Devil May Cry.
He will. Eventually, yes. Okay.
Yeah.
Like I don't.
I'm not paying $80 for Mario Kart.
Yes, you will.
There's gonna be a tweet in
Yes.
2 weeks that's like buy Mario Kart 8 day one at Best Buy and you get a steelbook and Luke's gonna be there.
I gave you the fucking Mario
Hold
steelbook
on.
that I got for free.
This is not anything about your character. This is just who you are, and it's you will then like all of a sudden one day be like, I really want to buy this game, and then you will.
I won't. I'll say right here on the podcast. And if
there's
I'm a liar, cut back to this, put it in a fucking episode, and go like,
Keep
Luke,
an
you're a
eye on
bitch.
Luke's Nintendo account if you ever
Because-
see Mario
because
Kart 8
there's
on
so
there.
many
it's
times-
The only way.
There's so many
that I
times where
will-
you go be like, I just got this game. I just got this game. I just got this game, and it's fine. It's great, but it feels like coming from you to not play a game.
I have maybe 10 hours in Mario Kart 8. That's it. Like Mario Kart, I got it because I got it on sale for the $30 Switch thing.
How many years ago was that?
When did they do Mario Day?
Like a year ago.
That was the same year they did the collection.
So yeah, that's when I got Mario Kart 8. My brother had it, and I just stole it from him until he sold his Switch. So then I only owned Mario Kart through a sale. I did not buy $60 Mario Kart 8.
You did play the game
for $30.
Okay, so that's what the point is. You're not going to play the game.
I'm not paying $80 for it.
Sure.
But
like I said,
play it. Oh no, like I said, if I get the $5.99 bundle with it included, yeah, I'll have the game.
Or you might find like somebody that has it and play it.
Oh yeah, no, I'll play it. I'm not spending like my thing is I'm not spending $80. I don't think it's worth $80.
I agree.
Yeah,
I 100%.
So I'm not going to spend. If someone else wants to sell it to me for cheaper, or if it's on sale for Black Friday for their Mario Day sales, like hell yeah, 40.
They rarely have sales, especially in the first year.
Mario Day though, all their Mario shit goes on sale.
March 10th.
Yeah,
everything goes on sale.
Mario Wonder was on sale, and that just dropped.
What, for like $5 off?
20, I think.
Mario RPG at GameStop last week was $20.
Yeah. Like, it depends on the game. Like I said, I'm not paying my thing depending on the game, right?
Sure.
Like,
but the problem is though, is like with Nintendo's history. Again, this is again, this is
Oh
just
yeah,
the spirit,
Nintendo never goes
the
on sale.
spirit of meanness that I've now developed over these last 2 directs is just the company of Nintendo. My grievances that have built up long enough to become a personality.
Yeah.
As I said,
I'm just letting you talk because I can't wait to see when that GTA announcement comes out how you feel.
Yeah, you gonna pay more than $70 for GTA 6? Because there's rumors that it will drop at $100 base.
Probably not, because I only played GTA because it was like $15 on everything, and I was like, I can pay $15 for $10 million and the base game, and I'm like, okay, this is a week's worth of fun. That's fine.
GTA, my thing, like, because Red
I
Dead,
also didn't buy GTA when it first dropped, GTA 5. I played it with people because I was when I was literally in the dorms at college, and I just watched people play it, and then I was like, I don't have the fucking money to do this.
I did, and I remember because I had like the flu for a week and a half.
Did you get on the 360?
I got on the 360, and I had to like send my mom to GameStop to get me a bigger hard drive so I could even run it.
The only in most, and you guys can correct me, but in a nice way, because I actually can't remember. But the only time I can remember getting a day one release, and I'm sure it's been something since then, but a day one release of a game and been like, I'm fine to pay this much money, was Starfield. Like, in my head,
I think Space Marine 2 and Monster Hunter probably.
You did Monster Hunter.
Yeah, you can do Space Marine 2.
I actually didn't do Monster Hunter like day one though. That was
I
like
mean,
a thing.
it was not a sale price though. You still bought it.
You got it the week it came out.
Yeah,
I think so.
that to me counts as day one. Is like if you got it before patches or a sale. That to me is like you bought it on launch.
I also
price.
got that with
Yeah.
CD keys though,
Oh, fair.
and I think it was $8 off.
That's yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the same thing with like.
But I'm saying I'm
oh,
trying
yeah.
to think of like a game that I like was ready for, and I was like,
and you're willing to pay the money for it. Like,
Space Marine
immediately.
is
Yeah,
Space
Space Marine
that-
was the one that I was really thinking of.
yeah. But other than those two, like Starfield, I remember just like the hype for that, and I was
Yeah.
like, day one pre-download, like all that shit, and I was ready.
My thing is, if it's a game that I know I'm gonna put a bunch of hours into, and I know it's gonna be quality, I'll pay any price. Because when RGG drops anything, I'm like, okay, give me the highest edition day one. I'll pre-order it beforehand.
Because you mentioned GTA 6, and like I hear that, like, and as I said, I love GTA 5 story. But if we're honest, the reason you buy GTA is for playing online later. Like that's what their whole enterprise is built around.
That's never been me.
Hi,
no.
I've probably played 5 hours of the online. I said not for me.
No, I
Yeah.
agree, but I'm
To be fair,
saying
yeah.
what the company's
Yes.
enterprise is built around.
I mean,
Yeah,
that's
where
how
they make their money.
That's
Yes.
how they funded Red Dead 2
yes,
and GTA 6.
like I agree. That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. I put most of my time, all my time, 90% of my time into story and single player, and a little bit because I didn't have friends to play with,
Yeah.
and also it's like, I don't know, online missions don't have like the same. Like, sure, I can we can run our car. I can run my friends over in my car, and that's like,
But it's not a tailor-made
that's,
experience.
that's
Yeah.
goofy, and I get some good laughs out of it. But it's not. Yeah, I mean,
I'm with you on this. Where like if GTA, now here's my thing. I've seen no one talk about this, but if GTA as a package is $100, but they go, yeah, the multiplayer is this, and then they're gonna charge you separately for each. That's better for me because I'm just not gonna buy the multiplayer.
100%.
I'll just buy the single player, play the game, and dip.
Wait
like I
for a
did with
sale
5.
that has like a bundle with some like a bunch
Yeah,
of
the
money.
currency.
Yeah, just wait for that.
Even then, I probably won't even do that. I'll just be like, yo,
Because
just
I
the
know
single player,
there's
and I'm
a
in.
large amount of people that are gonna go, fuck the story. I'm immediately gonna start grinding
Which,
it
well,
online.
but that's the thing. They're gonna have to wait because they're doing it like Red Dead 2, where the multiplayer will come out at least a week or more.
That's
later.
worrying because when Red Dead 2 Online dropped, it was dog shit.
Yeah,
So-
I'm hoping that because GTA 6, the whole thing is open world sandbox, do whatever you want, whereas Red Dead is like simulation, like cowboy, like role play type shit. That I'm hoping they know that like we can't do that shit with GTA 6.
Yeah.
It has to be go nuts, go crazy, explode shit, pull a rocket launcher out of your ass, and kill a clerk in the store. Like they know what they're doing with GTA. Hopefully, because that's my thing. I think GTA 6 is like the campaign is gonna be good. They have never let anybody down since like the 3 onwards. Like 3, San Andreas, Vice City, 4, 5, Red Dead 1, Red Dead 2. These guys know how to write a good campaign with really good characters, so I'm expecting that. I don't care about the online, so I don't care how that works.
Yeah, neither do
so,
I.
so that's kind of where I'm at. Where I'm like,
so that's where it's like, you think I'm gonna get it day one. It's like,
I don't think I'm gonna pay.
I don't think I am. I really don't. I definitely want to play the story because GTA stories are great.
I like, my thing is, if the story mode is $100, I'm gonna wait. Because I don't think any game's worth $100 base with no extra exclusive on top of it.
I agree, especially when, like, depending on the game, like, some of the microtransactions, like, are worth it to me. Like depending.
Like he was saying, like RGG Studios. Like, I have bought deluxe editions for Pirate Yakuza, Gaiden, Infinite Wealth, because I wanted all their shit. I love
Bethesda game, I'm like, I want every DLC that comes out.
Yeah, for sure.
So it's like, in contexts, sure, and maybe, like, if we're talking about, like, with inflation and, like, the amount of DLCs, like, sure, I might have paid like $100 for Fallout 4 with all the DLCs that came out, but like
the amount of hours and stuff I put into it and like the fun I had with it was like, fuck it.
I
definitely put 100 hours into Nuke World alone.
It's like, I don't know if, I mean, I'm trying to think. There's three Skyrim DLCs. There's
Hearthstone, Dragonborn. I
think there's one more.
The vampire one.
Dawnguard.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and each of those, what, $20?
Probably roughly.
I think so.
So
think
$60 games plus $40 or $60, so $120.
Yeah.
Yeah, but also having that spaced out over time, that's helpful as well.
Sure.
Well, I mean, case in point, you could buy Skyrim Legendary Edition. Like, it's the repackages later. Where it's like, it's $60 for all of them. You know,
and you're fucking clutch. That's I mean, that's the shit. Because I remember not playing Skyrim original, waiting, not really knowing anything about the DLCs, just because it was that early, and then seeing Legendary Edition and going, it has everything.
Yeah.
Gimme.
And it was at GameStop used, and I was like,
gimme. Yeah.
$40?
Yeah.
That's something I'm curious about too. With the Switch coming out, they announced Cyberpunk is going to be one of the titles that comes out on it. I wonder if they include Phantom Liberty.
Yeah, it's Ultimate Edition.
Oh fuck yeah!
It's the whole thing.
That's tight as fuck, and it plays better than on the Steam Deck, which is a monumental thing.
That's the thing that I'm really interested in, because a lot of people are saying, like, just get a Steam Deck.
What do you mean it plays better?
It runs better.
Yeah, like it can.
In
run
what
it.
way?
Well, so if you're gonna, now obviously you can tweak Steam Deck settings, but there's only so much it's gonna go up and whatever, and plus battery life, all this stuff. The Steam Deck port, like the port of Steam Deck, isn't a port. It's just the PC version that you could change the settings on. For Cyberpunk,
but for the Steam Deck.
For the Steam Deck,
they just have presets. They detect you're on a Steam Deck.
Yeah,
and they change.
and so it's there's gonna be some variables to that, because it's the Switch one is being made specifically to run on the Switch, so they can actually like work with the system itself to make it run perfect. So that apparently,
but it can run better, but that doesn't mean it's gonna like look better.
It looks, if you're running the game on Steam Deck settings on Steam Deck,
but we don't,
and the Switch 2.
You can't say that you know what Cyberpunk looks like on the Switch 2 yet.
I don't, but people who have played both can. And Wolfden, who did both, he bought it on his ROG Ally, and he said, yeah, the Switch version is more stable than the ROG Ally and the Steam Deck.
It's already
version.
out.
He went to an event.
They're having events.
So all these people have been able to play it. So he tested both. He even had to buy fucking Cyberpunk for that.
I heard the same about Integrade.
Yeah, well, because
it runs better on Switch than it does on the PS4.
Well, the PS4 was chugging.
The Pro, I mean.
Yeah.
I also haven't encountered a game that runs poorly on my Steam Deck.
To be fair, most don't. It's realistic. Like, if it has the big green verified, you're pretty much just gonna be able to play it out the box.
Even if
to
it's
work.
The yellow playable, most of the time it's just click yes on the launcher and then it runs fine.
Or like on Metal Gear Solid 5, the only thing that was like you might have to manually type in something with bring up the overlay keyboard.
Pretty much
one button combo.
Yeah,
pretty much
verified. That was its only thing that it had the issue with. And I was like,
verified just means you won't have to do anything extra except play it. That's what verified is on Steam Deck. But like that's the thing, is it's way different to develop something for one console in mind versus, okay, this has to run on so many different graphics cards and have different versions and all this stuff. You have to make sure it kind of can be in a variable. Steam Deck is one of those variables, so it's not going to be perfect. Switch is one system with one set of hardware. You only have to worry about it.
We didn't talk about it yet, but the mouse controls.
Also, I want to talk about too the fact that apparently, and we now know this from some of the people in who got to go to the preview event. Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom run at 120.
That's crazy.
That's another thing, that some of these games are going to run at 120 frames per second on a fucking console. That the last game that I know that does that is Doom Eternal. And that's apparently only on the PS4 Pro and the Series X.
Damn.
Or PS5 Pro, sorry. But yeah, the fact that Metroid Prime 4 is going to have mouse control... Sorry, the weird dual analog thing and a mouse control...
Here's my other thing, and I know we could just title this like Matt the Skeptic.
I mean, to be fair, that's healthy as hell to be skeptical.
Because but this comes from a history of hardware failure from Nintendo Switch.
Yeah.
Like a history of let's just name things.
Joy-Con.
Terrible. What's the backrest?
The stand.
The stand on the original version, prone to breaking.
I think, thankfully, again, to be fair to you, I've been lucky. I've never dealt with Joy-Con drift, and nothing on my Switch is broken.
The problem is,
maybe
to be fair,
7 pairs in there. 5 of them have terrible drift.
Yeah.
To also be fair, this comes along with the same territory.
Yeah.
We're dealing with people with kids that are playing this console.
Yeah, to be fair, that is where
you've seen what an iPad that's meant for a kid looks like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This shit has the
You see those
most
cases?
Covered in Nerf.
those cases.
Okay, so it's like
Those cases are like giant with so much padding, so if it drops, it's fine.
covered in snot.
like
and
I
banana.
assume the second a kid drops a controller on the floor, that mouse control is not going to work. The other thing is, I think that magnetic connection is going to break.
Yeah, the magnetic connection is a really stupid idea.
Have any sort of longevity to it.
I definitely want to see the thing because it was both Wolfden and Beat 'em Ups went together, and they even asked like, "Hey, can we test how strong the magnets are?" And they said, "Yeah," and they like literally pulled, like one held the switch, one held the thing. It didn't come off.
That's not the issue.
I know, it's the longevity, I
The
get it.
little connector pin on.
And the magnets fade over time.
Yeah.
Significantly.
I gotta wonder like what their plan for longevity of that is, or if they just said fuck it, which they probably just said.
We'll
fuck
be
it.
ready for another lawsuit.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'd like to think that the magnets would just be inside of the Joy-Con and there's just a steel plate that they attach to. That way the console itself is fine. You just have to buy new controllers.
well, it's the same thing where you click the button and remove it. I guess it like something.
It's a little lever that pushes it out.
It's a manual analog thing that pushes the magnet off it. What I think would have been smarter is so electromagnets you can turn on and off.
Yeah. Probably would have been way better. The button turns them off.
A button that turns them off. That you, as you hold it down, you can pry them off, and then when you connect it, it activates the magnets again because it's connected back to power.
I think there should be a dual thing, like it's both a magnet, but then there's also a physical thing.
Physical is just like,
but I'm saying like
that's the whole. That's why
they
could
should
drop
have kept
a
the
switch.
rail system.
You could drop a switch. And the Joy-Cons wouldn't break off because it was in a rail that the Joy-Con slid in.
That's my one issue of having the Switch. My OLED model, the right rail doesn't work. So if I barely tap it, it comes off. So that's my one
Is
Switch
it with
problem.
a certain Joy-Con?
Nope, all Joy-Cons. So that's been my one major issue, and so I just have to be careful playing in handheld.
But if they had combined the rail with the magnet,
that's what I'm saying. If they did like a 2-part thing where it's like, if the magnet wears down, it's still gonna work, but the magnet keeps it like more stationary. Yeah. I think it probably would have been a better system.
We're definitely naming this thing like Matt hates Nintendo.
Well, honestly, no. just do like a skeptic's review of the Switch 2.
Yeah,
that's probably because like to be fair, me and BJ are excited for the games, but we're also like everything else surrounding the thing, we're like,
It's just so hard for me, like, because Nintendo is kind of a different creature. Like if you think of if you think of if you made personalities for all the different like consoles.
Nintendo's the kid playing with mud in the corner of the classroom.
He's also like,
but they're having the time of their fucking life.
But also, then you see his Avatar: The Last Airbender fan art at its peak.
Yeah,
but it's also like the stuck-up kid that's like, no.
That's PlayStation to me.
No, because not when you're still charging $60 for games that came out 5 years ago.
So PlayStation.
Really?
Last of Us 2 got re-released for $70. Last of Us 1 got re-released for $70. Like they're doing the same
Mario
shit.
Odyssey is like still $60.
Okay, yeah. To be fair, they just never do sales. No, I'm saying. But that's what I'm saying. Like PlayStation is the snotty prep school kid who thinks they're hot shit. Xbox is just trying to survive. This Nintendo's doing their own thing in the corner playing with mud.
Nintendo's
but
the
they're,
fucking
but they're
drug dealer that knows that any crackhead will pay out any money to get their crack.
Yes. Okay. Actually, no. I like that one better.
Yeah, he's the drug dealer.
Yeah,
'Cause he
PlayStation
goes,
is
I
the-
know you want this.
PlayStation's
and I know
the
you're gonna
prep
pay
school kid who's like-
anything for this.
PlayStation's the prep school kid who said, "My father will hear about this type shit because they think they're hot shit." Xbox is trying to survive on a C grade.
It just feels like such a different attitude that comes from them, where it's like,
Well, this
I can
happened with
see-
everything.
I can see. I mean, it's like, again, like I'm not at this point a console dick rider.
Yeah, you're a PC gamer at this point.
I am a PC gamer.
Yeah.
and and the benefits of that is the freedom of that.
Yeah.
But like for the longest time, I loved Xbox, and I would be, the new Series X came out, and I was like, I'm gonna buy this instead of the PlayStation 5, and I had my reasons, and it never felt like, oh, I might be getting fucked over by that company. I never thought buying this console could fuck me over. I see so many things from Nintendo Switch 2 that goes, I think they're gonna try to fuck me over.
Yeah.
Everything from price to like new gimmicks.
This is the thing.
And
This is the thing that happens with every console manufacturer. Nintendo's had it a lot worse in multiple areas because when they launched the 3DS was way too expensive and had like virtually nothing on launch. That they finally were like, okay, they like their sales plummeted. They dropped the price. They slapped like in half, wasn't it? I forget how drastic
it was. Like $150 off because it launched at $250.
Yeah, they launched the 3DS for a price that nobody wanted to pay, and it didn't sell well. So then they went, all right, cool, we're slashing the price, and new games being announced. Here you go, and they did it. And then the 3DS became better, and the Switch, the Wii U, awful.
I
They
do think, though,
fucked
the
up
reason
bad.
why I'm so much more receptive to the Switch than to the Switch 2 is because everything that the Switch did was like, you kind of like, you like 3DS, the DS, so you like mobile gaming. We came from Game Boy and all this other stuff, so you like mobile gaming. Wii U was like the combo console of kind of mobile gaming, but
that was also during the 3DS era.
Sure.
So they were like, put all the good shit on 3DS and give the Wii U people scraps.
And so, but then they were like, all right, Switch, we're combining the worlds of gaming on the go, home console, and then banger titles.
I mean, it was also,
and then I go that feels like a
Actual,
natural
like,
upgrade to that. And then but then you go like, Matt, but what about the Xbox, Xbox One to the Series X? That's not much of an upgrade. I go,
I mean, it's
but to me though, that makes more sense because we're going to still be getting games coming out on those, but we're just getting hardware like upgrades.
Well, that's what
this is. The first generation, the first time that Nintendo goes, we're going to stick with the same form factor and not upgrade. You get what I'm saying?
I mean, it's
that's
since
because
the
they
NES,
figured out they have something that works now.
Sure, but that's where I go like, where's the why are we where's the innovation?
I think
where's the reason I'm paying $80 for this other than a hardware upgrade because I'm so used to buying a Nintendo console because
and it being fucking new and brand new.
Yes, when it's like I'm already used to that with every other console.
I do agree with BJ that I think they're probably because the Wii U 100% scared them off from doing something crazy. The Switch was the game like this happens with every console where they get to a point where they are the hot shit biggest thing in the world and then they do something stupid and it tanks them hardcore. PlayStation 2 to 3. PS3 was like, the PS3 is going to be $600. And people were like, how the fuck are we going to pay for that? And their actual response was, you can get a second job to pay for it. That was not a thing. They said that on a stage. And then, shocker, the Xbox 360 came out and trounced the fuck out of PS3 at first.
By doing virtually nothing.
They just went, here's a cool console that's cheaper and has cool games. Granted,
to be fair,
Red
like
Ring of
some
Death,
of the best games that have ever come out on the in video game history, Legends, Gears, Halo.
The first Mass Effect dropped there. The first Metro, BioShock.
Yeah.
Oblivion launched on the thing. Halo 3.
Yeah. Absolute banger after banger. And Free. No, yeah, wasn't it free?
The snowboarding game?
No, sorry, free. Wasn't online free at that time?
No. 360. You had to pay for it all of Xbox's life.
Was PlayStation ever free?
PlayStation was free.
But
then they had.
That's why I bought a PlayStation 3.
Remember,
my parents were like, "You can buy a PlayStation 3."
Yeah.
You can buy a game console, but you're buying it, and I was like, oh, if I want to
play it, I don't want to pay for online.
I don't have
yeah.
to pay for online.
I mean, to
yeah.
be fair, Xbox has had
even
virtually,
though I wanted all the shit on Xbox.
yeah. Which I mean, with the exception of Halo, most of those Gears, most of those games did come to PlayStation at some point.
Yeah.
Like BioShock came over.
I mean,
Mass
I was
Effect
just
came
playing
over.
like Battlefield and
Yeah.
Uncharted and Skyrim. Those really were my three
Dude,
top games.
I mean, maybe you had a different experience than I did, and you did buy the Legendary Edition. My buddy had a PlayStation when Skyrim came out. That shit was virtually unplayable for him. Whereas all my friends at 360 were like, "This is the greatest thing."
I mean, I had like a minute loading screens, but that was of the time.
Dude,
Yeah.
Rest in peace some of the loading screens, because you see the Spider-Man thing where it's like PS5 is so fast you can't see all the
you
fun
can't
animations.
experience that part of the game.
Yeah, it's-
You lose some of Peter Parker's personality.
yeah, because you can't
I
see
had a
it.
point that I was gonna say about
Well, the
About Switch 2 Welcome Tour, the $10 tech demo.
Isn't that crazy?
that should have been a pack-in game. Like,
That's crazy.
dude, no, okay, PlayStation gave you Astrobot for free,
Which was
Astrobot is the craziest thing to
I played
for
it one
free.
time when BJ left his PlayStation here.
Astrobot's Playroom is goated, and then they made the
They were
game.
like, oh, you guys like that?
Let's make a sequel
the
that's
other
game
really
of the fucking
good one
year.
is Oculus's,
Yeah, the Oculus one.
where you're in the
fun.
trailer just like messing around with stuff.
Yeah,
Hey,
with the robot.
Hey,
Yes,
Steam
so much
Steam
fun.
Deck's Aperture desk job.
With
Also incredible.
Yeah, with
With-
J.K. Simmons. Big shout out. Oh, fuck.
J.K. Simmons. Yeah,
I
And
can't
dude-
believe they got him back for that free download.
and even then,
think he enjoys
dude,
that kind of
the
shit.
the Wii having Wii Sports.
Yeah.
that was free.
Yeah, that
Oh,
came with
it did. It came in the little,
little
disc
sleeve, yeah.
with
Yeah,
the
the paper
the
sleeve.
paper sleeve.
Dude, oh, did you
I'm
know-
so glad you knew what I meant with this side.
Yeah, I know, because I've done that with
Yeah,
the paper sleeve.
that's the other thing when you remember. Oh, dude, this is first of all banger episode.
Banger.
But remember when you get like cereal boxes that came with the
Yeah, the
like
DVDs
back,
or the CDs,
again,
it would always
and
come
you
in
grab
one
the
of
corner
those.
and you go.
dude? No,
I
the
got so many fucking Super Mario Brothers Super Show.
Oh, I
Heathcliff
all mine is like
DVDs.
backyard sports or Monopoly. There was like 10 board games, like
Yep.
10 board games on one
There was a
disc.
Candyland one.
Yeah.
I need to give a big shout out to Nintendo of America for the Wii, because apparently Nintendo of Japan wanted to put Wii Play as the pack-in game for the Wii, and Nintendo of America said no.
Dude,
Wii Sports.
Wii Sports Resort was also a banger.
Wii Sports was great.
Yeah.
Oh, here's something we can just dog shit on.
Let's do
for
it.
Let's go.
10 minutes.
Yeah, I want to.
Drag X Drive, online 3v3 game
About
that,
paraplegic basketball players.
where you have to roll your wheelchair.
Apparently, they're like all the people at the
People
event.
think that
were
gimmicks
do-
are cool. Gimmicks are the worst.
That specifically is the worst thing I've ever
Like
seen.
physical gimmicks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Apparently, it's not like, because people at the event were like on the mouse pads doing this, and one of the Nintendo reps had to go to someone and goes, "You can literally just do it on your pants. You don't have to like do this all the time. It's like you just do that." And the guy's like, "Oh, okay," because apparently people were making a fucking fool of themselves at this event, doing like, and like someone literally finally came over and said, "Hey, just like this is all."
There had to be a better way to show off that tech. Don't make a game about people in wheelchairs.
fucking
playing
Metroid.
basketball.
You literally have a mouse
in the,
aiming thing.
What's the welcome tour? There's like the golf game.
Yeah,
And then
that's
in
a better-
Donkey's video, he literally just pulls up like
He goes free golf game.
free
with a
golf
mouse.
game with the mouse. Oh my!
Like that's the thing. Like
gosh.
you should have put like a minigame collection, like the Welcome Home Tour, is like a pack-in thing. Which, to be fair, they also didn't do that for 1-2 Switch. You had to pay for that too, but that game was awful.
Well, that's like a party game.
Yeah, but so was Wii Sports, and Wii Sports
I
was
mean,
free.
A 2-person party game.
Wii Sports is 4.
But most of the
For tennis, it's 4.
for tennis it's 4. Bowling 2, but boxing 2,
Boxing's 2.
Baseball's
Baseball's
2.
2. I mean, that's the thing is they gave you options for 4-player and 2-player and whatever else, and you can play them all by yourself. Like Wii Sports is a really good collection of things to be like, here's how the Wii works.
Yeah.
And like, even then they said, here's Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess, where you can swing the fucking Wii remote to swing the sword. They gave you enough there to be like, here's how we're gonna use this. And then
Have you seen people that use candles as the IR detectors?
Yeah.
Love that.
My mom brought that up the other day. She was like, "Do I really need to get the IR sensor for my Wii? Because I could just do candles." I was like,
Wait,
"You
really?
Probably just want to do it."
Yeah.
Yeah, you just put them
Two
certain
candles.
set apart and it'll work.
Because it's infrared. Because fire
Really?
gives off infrared light.
Oh, shit.
All the camera does is emits 2 lights that the camera on the controller like looks at. That's all it does. All of the like input and like sensing is in the controller. Nothing. All the little bar at the top would do is just give positioning.
That's cool, actually.
And so, because in the settings, remember, you would do either is the bar on the top of the TV or on the bottom TV.
Yeah.
That's all it does.
Oh, shit. Dude, that would have saved me so much time as a kid going, but it's right there. Why is my thing? And like, God dang
remember when you'd point it and then it would start freaking the fuck out?
Yeah.
Yeah, it would just.
And you're like, ah!
It's like, I just want to play. I just want to play
What's
the game.
happening?
Please. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't have Motion Plus.
So yeah, that also.
Oh yeah, and then
no.
you had to get Motion Plus, which was the adapter at the bottom.
Yeah.
Yep.
And they said that they gave new condoms for it.
I like
People
that
who play the Wii know what I'm talking about. The condoms.
I like that
Yeah,
they
those
just
disgusting fucking things. We had to deal with those a lot at GameStop.
dude.
Crusty
They,
ones?
dude.
Yeah, because people would put them on and never take them off. They'd be like literally caked on the inside with like chocolate and Cheetos and shit.
Dude, and they were the most off-color shit.
Yeah, they all turned brown.
Yeah. Oh, they were so bad.
Speaking of
They're
turning
like
brown,
yellowish.
yeah,
I was
that
gonna.
too.
I need to say one more thing about Dragon Drive. Who at Nintendo was like, dude, wheelchair basketball, fire. I want them fired. Actually,
yeah, legitimately baffling.
And then it cuts to him and he's in a wheelchair.
I'd feel a little.
That would be
bad.
a hilarious sketch.
Yeah.
I might feel a little bad, maybe a little bit, but still, don't make your dog shit motion
No,
control
we're
game.
filming that next week or something. Elden Ring and Duskbloods. Elden Ring is Elden Ring,
Duskblood
and
is
Duskbloods
is
is
Bloodborne.
Bloodborne.
literally so.
People are going to pay $600 just to play that game, and so many people
Do you
are.
know how many people were literally going, "Fuck, I have to buy a Switch 2 now"? When that trailer ended, it was
course.
like, yeah. Well, and dude, the fact that it's Miyazaki directing it too.
Do you
is
ever
another
think
thing.
we're going to get a port out of it?
Fuck no. Well, no. Dude, anything that's published by Nintendo usually never leaves. Like, what was the fucking Ash? Well, not
That's
Astray.
not true.
Marvel versus Cap. No, what the fuck was the Ultimate Alliance? Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3.
Published, not added to the...
Nintendo paid for that game to get made.
But that's what I'm saying. Apparently, it was the same shit for Duskblood. They went from said, "Do you want to make a game for our new system?" And they're like, "Yeah." And that's what we got Duskbloods from. I
But,
don't
like-
think Duskbloods is leaving the system.
But there's also like Wonderful 101 and like Resident Evil 4.
Stardew?
Stardew wasn't published by Nintendo.
Okay.
It's a PC indie game. Like that's what I'm saying.
No, but
The stuff that they like actually like pay money for exclusive wise is not leaving.
trying to think of anything, but you're right.
But I was saying like you look at like the Dragon Quest like update was for Switch by itself for so long. Certain things they have timed exclusivity, and so far there's been nothing outside of them saying only on Switch 2. The fucking Hades 2 is console exclusive for Switch 2 at first. They made a point to say it's going to be console exclusive first. Same with Yakuza 0.
That makes a lot of sense.
It's
though.
console exclusive first, and then it's coming out. Dustbloods has just straight up said only on Switch 2. So that might straight up just be the only place you can play it.
Yeah, Dustbloods. It makes me think something happened with Sony.
They had to have lost the source code. Like at this point, which still doesn't make sense because you know what Bluepoint does.
Yeah,
They will take the actual game disc and reverse engineer it.
that's true.
That's how they got Shadow of the Colossus and Demon Souls. They just reverse engineered, so they could do it for Bloodborne. Sony, dude, the fact there's even no PC port, even like nothing with Bloodborne.
All right, what else, BJ?
Sorry,
No, it's okay. We just gotta wrap it up.
yeah, we do
Hyrule Warriors.
hype.
Hype,
I'm gonna play the shit out of that. I've 100% of the last two.
I'm gonna probably go through fully.
especially since it's backstory and voice acted.
Yeah, and it's Zelda focused.
But we're still gonna get
Do you
young
think
Ganon.
Do you think Link
with
will,
Matt Mercer?
Do you think Link will
Love
be
it.
playable at all?
If they pull some like, oh, he came back in time. We're changing the main story of the game now.
Yeah.
Deltarune.
Or it's gonna be like a weird like DLC character.
Yeah, I can see
None
them-
of these they're gonna add a DLC characters
Not
of, like,
canon.
people that don't actually like pertain to the story, but like you're gonna want to play this person.
They are doing the exact same thing the last Hyrule Warriors did, though, with Amiibo, where it's like, oh, the sequel Muso game is coming out. Now we'll make 4 Amiibo of the champions. They're doing the same thing with all the...
like Riju and them are getting amiibos, not the old champions.
Wait,
Yeah.
wait, not you mean the
Not the champions from the past that Zelda's in. Like the ones all wearing the masks, like in the flashbacks.
Yeah.
They're not getting amiibos.
We're getting
the
a
new
Sidon
ones,
amiibo.
like Sidon, Riju.
From Tears
from
of the
Tears.
Kingdom.
Yeah, they're getting amiibos.
But we already have amiibos from the champions
But they
of
came.
Breath of the Wild.
Yeah.
Those
Both
came
are
out
all
with
there.
Hyrule Warriors the last time. So Age of Calamity gave them amiibos.
Oh,
This one- yeah.
This one's gonna give the
Yeah.
last Tears of the Kingdom.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and they're also doing one that comes out later because it's like bigger and I'm guessing posable. But the mech that you get,
Oh,
The
yeah,
buildable
that'd be
mech.
sick.
That's like one of your summons.
Yeah.
Well, or what's her name? The cat lady who built the
sister,
mech.
who was also playable in this,
Yeah, her mech that you find underneath.
Erica Lindbeck.
Yeah, it is her. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
So quick interlude because you just named a voice actor. MTAC is not releasing any more guests. The people have locked in. I have to show you some of these interview questions that have come up through the power of computing.
I'm very excited because I think we can nail all 5 of them. Because it's what 5, right?
Yeah.
We could probably do all 5 for sure.
I with the help of ChatGPT to help research, have come up with
Some banger questions.
some Nardwar style questions of like, you said in this one interview, blah 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 blah. Can you expand on that?
Hell yeah.
So yeah, age of
Quick shout out to our sponsor Dubby. We were gonna do at the very end, and we're
hey,
reaching the very end.
we're
but,
getting there.
getting
This has been a
close.
fun episode.
but you know what won't end is your amount of energy if you drink Dubby.
You'll never feel calm
You'll
again.
You might not feel calm, but you definitely
You're not gonna feel
jitterless.
Say goodbye to your peace of
Yeah,
mind.
yeah, you won't be feeling any jitters whatsoever with their coffee bean extract and no artificial, color additives. And if you use code TakeItSleazy at checkout, you can get 10% off your purchase.
Buy W today to see the Hat Man in your dreams.
So Age of Imprisonment looks sick.
Deltarune.
Yeah, chapter 3
we
and 4.
talked about on our episode with Cody.
And
I
then
think.
today I was, because Cody hasn't been in Discord for like days, and I'm like, I like the guy, so it's like I was like, hey,
No,
where have
miss
you
you,
been?
dog.
Yeah, where have you been? And I was like, I also have to catch you up on everything that I've been listening to in Warhammer, and I just put it on speakerphone while BJ was playing Kirby, and then BJ was like, also remember the thing we were talking about, Deltarune? It's out, or it's coming out.
Is it going to be... Do we know anything about Deltarune being Switch exclusive, or is it going to also come out to everything else?
I think it'll... I mean, the fact that they announced it makes me think it'll probably be Switch and Steam for a while and then drop on everything else.
Because I've been waiting for Deltarune to be like done before I do like a full playthrough.
I was telling Joey a couple weeks ago, I was like, I know episode 1 and 2 is out. I'm waiting.
Because I think I played episode 1 and then said I'm going to wait and like fully restart until it's all out.
We talked about Integrate, talked about Cyberpunk.
Yakuza 0 Director's Cut.
Yeah, that looks great.
26 minutes of new cutscenes.
Playable
60
Kuze.
plus character multiplayer
playable
mode.
Kuze is crazy.
I'm a little upset. This is, again, nitpick area. Shibusawa is the only other character who canonically has multiple styles. He does not in the multiplayer. And I'm like, I know why, but I wish they would have had him
But
be
in the
like...
multiplayer, it seems like Kiryu and Majima are split between styles too.
Yeah. So you have like a beast style specific. Yeah. I understand why, but I still would have been cool if it's like, oh yeah, he's in the echelon with Kiryu and them of like, oh no, he has all this shit too.
Yeah.
But yeah, Yakuza 0 looks cool, and I will probably do an actual replay of the game if it has new cutscenes and shit that I'm like, I'd love to see that. The one downside of the news for it that you're not gonna like, English dub is being added with Yang, but they're fully
I mean,
English.
that's fine. This is the one that we said Yang could do.
I'm very interested. Yeah, if he can nail.
Oh, is that the voice actor?
Yeah, in Infinite Wealth, which again for a younger Kiryu, if he can nail it, I think that would work better.
Yeah.
I'm willing to give it a shot because I think I've played Zero so many times that I'm like, I'm willing to give it a shot in English
So
on the
far.
Switch.
I've only played it the once, and this will be my first go back.
Really?
I
Have you replayed any other Yakuzas?
No.
I mean, to be fair, when you're going through that many that take that
Yeah.
long, it's not worth.
going back.
I mean, a
going
lot of
back.
them, it was like 100+ hours.
And a lot of them you 100%.
Well,
No.
Or I mean, like a lot of
Impossible.
them you tried to like get as much in.
if there was a system in it that I liked, I would 100%
Yes.
that part of the game.
Yes.
yeah, none of us like Mahjong.
Yeah, no, I'm not fucking with Mahjong, but you give me Pocket Circuit, I'm all over that. hoe.
Real Estate Royale.
Real Estate
Real
Royale is
Estate
great.
Royale, all over
I low key fuck with the cabaret minigame too,
I love the cabaret.
dude. Oh my gosh, I
I
spent so many
tried.
hours.
I tried.
Fair.
Real estate's
estate's way
like
more fun.
So much money. You got to do like fights, battles. Like it was the best of everything. Assigning. It was a little bit of
Little Dave the Diver aspect. You know?
a little like colony simulator where you're like assigning people who do good, and you're like, who's gonna be the best manager for this?
They have really good management mini games in Yakuza, which is really funny.
Yeah, the Like a Dragon one is incredible too.
Yeah.
Street Fighter 6
With amiibos.
with amiibo. I'm buying the amiibo. Probably not the game.
A
though.
little sad, no Chun-Li amiibo. I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah, because they have Ryu and Ken and
Probably because that one
Akuma,
guy did
don't they?
the naked Chun-Li thing in the competition.
That's so funny. Yeah, give me that amiibo.
they're not doing Chun-Li realistically because everybody is gonna hot glue it.
Oh, you see on Amazon, frugally bought together Chun-Li amiibo, a jar.
Yeah. Split Fiction, which
Good.
to see. A big one, Project 007.
Yeah, getting announced from the Hitman devs, which that's been leaked like a motherfucker. Having an official, we're working on it, is good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just curious of what it's gonna be.
I think it'll be a mix of like Hitman and then probably just a little more action oriented stuff because 007 is not just a stealthy spy.
Just
he
get
also
Daniel
gets
Craig.
into,
in
Oh, I
there to
mean,
do
if
the
we're
face
going
model.
off of like old games, and the last like good games that they put out were, I think, on the GameCube, because so in those games it was classic like you're going through and you got to kill these people quietly, and then we get into like
a set piece.
a cut scene of a movie where it's like you're being chased by these cars, shoot out of the cars to kill these people, and so it's like it's a classic move through level, and then it goes into the you're in a part of a cut scene just like shooting people, and then like shooting cars that are coming towards you, or you're shooting missiles out of the sky in your helicopter. It's always like
I would love kind of like
thing.
a Dishonored style of like stealth and action where it's like
press circle to seduce the woman.
yeah. God of War sex minigame. Yeah. Spam circle to fuck.
Spam circle to leave your wife drowning.
Rip your daughter off of your body as she's hugging you, saying, "Dad, don't go." Spam circle
I
to
was
shove
just
her away.
listening because I was making a bunch of TikToks, which check them out. Making so many. I think like I scheduled like 7 to post, and one of them was us talking about drowning, and because we were talking about drowning the other day, but we were talking about Casino Royale and how Quantum of Solace is like the. Anyways, we were just talking about James Bond, but
Go check out our TikTok.
I will end it on this, but on Saturday, I was drinking, so it was Friday night. We were all drinking.
We were all getting drunk.
And we were watching Devil May Cry anime, and I had so many questions, and I was like, guys, I'm going to pause this a lot. And then like we just kept on pausing throughout watching this, and it was half of the time it was like, it's been a couple days since I've seen you guys, and I just want to talk.
Yeah.
I just want to talk with you guys, because that is the good thing about podcasts, is especially when we're podcasting, we can just talk about the things we want to. But when we hang out on any other day, I go, I want to talk about these things that I would normally talk to you guys about on Tuesdays. But now that you're here, let's just talk about it right now.
Yeah.
So good episode. Banger episode. I hate Nintendo. I hate the Switch 2.
Jesus Christ.
I will probably be getting the Switch too. If I can't get that Mario Kart bundle, I'm just gonna wait for that Mario Day sale, if I care enough. Or knowing my brother, because my brother,
that's gonna be like. I mean, it's gonna be a while because it comes out in what, June?
June 5th, day after my birthday. Which will be, I guess, my present to myself.
And so then you're gonna wait for March 10th.
I mean, like I said, Mario, like
I don't think so.
The list of, again, if I don't get that bundle, I'm not paying $80 for Mario Kart.
You want to know what I'm not excited for? I know that I'm going to be the only person that's willing to shell out the money for the console and Mario Kart on launch.
And we're all going to be asking you
everybody that we know, or I tangentially know, and you guys have over, is going to be like, oh, BJ has that new Mario Kart. Can we try it? I would be like, fuck you.
No, I'm just gonna text BJ. Hey, can you a virtual game card?
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm gonna ask BJ to lend me the games all the time.
We can play it on my console in the living room.
No,
just the three of us and Carmen.
No, come on, man, just quick. Come on, virtual game console. Come on,
to be fair, To be fair, there's only
I'm
one.
buying physical, so you can't.
Yeah.
So I mean, you're gonna be like okay with the people in the household doing it.
Yeah,
the
but
se-
if somebody
Don't live together.
but the second Millie asks for Hyrule Warriors,
Millie asked for Hyrule Warriors, didn't play it for 8 months, and I just got it back.
No, dude.
you're not getting any games, Millie.
So yeah, I think I'll be a little skeptical when Millie is like, "Is Mario Kart?"
Age of Imprisoment's gonna come out, and she's gonna be like, "Hey, BJ, no."
I'll be like, GameStop is right down the road.
And as always,
Take it sleazy.